What's up, everybody? We are back. We're here on the top of the show with you guys, and we had the business to take care of, but we're back. We are back with round 5 just wrapped up. The Dolphins had 3 picks in round 5. They traded back, obviously, earlier in the day. So now, Jason, your quick overall thoughts on the theme here. We'll get into the players individual of the 3 picks in round 5.
Well, the theme, I mean, obviously you're sticking with trenches with the Jordan Phillips pick.
Yeah.
And then you use that same round to focus on the defensive secondary with both the Jason Marshall Jr. and the Dante Trader Jr. pick. And we'll explore the players. We'll get into the depth of the picks and all the meat and potatoes there too. But the theme of this draft was Greer basically saying, all right, I'm going to get myself 2 dogs. And I'm going to pay, them 2 dog prices from the 37th, and it cost them a pick pretty much in the move up, and obviously a 13th rounder. But the rest of these picks are kind of going to be, relative lottery tickets, saving some cap room when it all is said and done, because you're moving out of the 3rd, you're moving out of the 4th. You're going to be paying players a little less, and it's kind of just setting the table for the future when you also add in that 3rd rounder in the trade earlier today with the Texans. So, is this an absolute home run draft? No, but this is a very nice foundational build with the ideology that, we need to look for the future, and right now they have 2 starters. I can't necessarily say, either of those defensive backs are starters right now. They'll compete, of course, but Jordan Phillips will go right into that defensive tackle rotation, nose tackle, powerful, and 2 flyer relatively tickets up on those defensive backs. So solid. I'm giving this draft right now a B. Like, I'm at a B right now with all things considered.
Okay, so let's we'll get you caught up on the draft and all that, but let's start with the guy they took first, Jordan Phillips.
Yeah.
I'll give you a little rundown when I think of Jordan Phillips. This was such a deep defensive tackle class that he wasn't talked about a lot. I think he's a guy that probably goes higher. We talked about in the pre-draft shows that in this tackle, you're going to get some DTs that go in this round that probably would have went a round higher, and he's one of them. He's still 20 years old. He is a stout former wrestler, weight room warrior, Jason. This is an upside pick. I'm going to tell you right now, Jordan Phillips will be in that rotation. He'll play. He was on Bruce Feldman's freak list, and you watched him play. Yeah. He's almost a forgotten guy here, but I'm a fan of this pick, and this is Chris Greer saying, you guys are worried about the defensive interior position. So were we. We got the big dude in Kenneth Grant. We got another stout guy who is strong, 29 reps, really broke weight room numbers there at Maryland. I'm a big fan of this pick. I like guys who are wrestlers. This guy, he's got a rare lower body explosion for this, position. You see his wrestling on film, the way he leverages with his technique. He's got good lateral movement. And again, only 20 years old. Uses his hands well. These are all things I saw. He's a forgotten guy because this is how deep this class was. But I like the pick. I like how they started. Again, rare mobility for a guy who's 315, 325. I like the wrestling background. I like the age. Plenty of room to grow here.
I mean, you said it eloquently. I can't really even add to that. That was perfect. I love the size. I love the athleticism. And I love the age mixed with it. There's so much potential there. And it adds into that kind of rotation as as you alluded to. That's important. Yeah. So I think it was a home run pick earlier in this process, a couple of weeks ago, months ago. He was great in the East-West Shrine process. And I had him earlier as a day 3 guy to watch a couple of weeks ago. I sent the tweet out. But he was a day 3 guy that would be perfect for this team. I think it was a good pick. Good pick with potential.
Yeah, I think he's a guy definitely be in the rotation. You would agree with that early on? So even though he's not a starter, you got a guy I think who will make an impact.
Well, you need the depth in the room. I mean, right now, going into this draft process, you really only had like Benito Jones at the nose, and now you got 2 more. So great. And Zach Sealer, Matt Dickerson. There's now a room full of defensive tackles, and they might even be able to, bring some more in during the undrafted process. Now we're skimming with picks here. We only have a couple left, but they took care of the defensive trenches. Well done.
Shout out to Jackson Slater, who just went to we had him on the show. Jackson's a Tennessee Titan, pick 167. Torrey Horton, Oronde Gadsden the second. He went to the he went to the Chargers at 165. Za Frazier, the other corner. So here's the thing: is you could tell we went with a lot of guys who leadership. They have character. They love football. That's pretty clear here. Let's move on to the next one. Jason Marshall Jr. out of Florida. I'm going to make a prediction here. This guy has a chance to start. Not only because for a 5th-round pick. He got hurt at the end of the year, I believe. Last year, if he would have came out, he might have went earlier. I think the injury hurt him a little bit. Long outside press corner. Okay, tape is a little inconsistent, Jason, but long outside press corner who fits exactly, I think, what Anthony Weaver wants to do here. I think he has an outside chance to start for a 5th-round pick.
I mean, you got to get, I think, a little bit better tackling, but, he obviously is a good cover outside boundary. Work a little bit on the hands to hopefully create some turnovers. Yes. That would be good, but hometown
a lot
kid,
of PBUs.
I like that.
A lot of PBUs.
Pass breakups are great, but sometimes, the Dolphins weren't phenomenal in the creation of turnovers from the secondary last year, particularly. So, you hope that he works on those hands. Just a little bit of time in the jugs machine. That's fine. Yeah. But I think this is a good pick. They mentioned they were deep at corner, Greer had said. And you got a guy, a hometown guy. They probably have a lot of notes on.
Went to Miami Palmetto. Miami Florida kid.
He's a leader, too. He's a captain quality.
It's a theme,
that is a theme. Exactly right. Leaders. They're bringing in leaders in, football mindset players. I like this.
Here's the thing. With Jason Marshall Jr. I forgot where I was going here, but sometimes I think this is a guy they targeted, so they weren't worried about moving back. But this is the corner they liked, and they knew he'd be there.
If it wasn't for injury, he'd probably be a higher pick.
Yeah.
But Greer likes to find the can in the grocery store that's got the dent and go on up to the register and say, yeah, it's $2, but I'm going to give you $1.25 for this. This is a dent. He's a bargain shopper, and he's going to find guys that slide for whatever reason. And here you go. Jason Marshall's one of them. So solid. And Jordan Phillips, one of them.
Yes.
I can't say that for Dante Trader Jr. We'll talk about that. I think it was right kind of where in that area that he would be advertised,
Yeah. The thing about Jason Marshall Jr. too is, look, he played against high-level competition in the SEC. This guy's another competitive kid. He's a leader. He's got good fluidity for a big corner. I didn't watch a ton of Jason Marshall Jr., right? He was towards the bottom. But the things I like is, don't be surprised. I know we said we only have 2 starters. He's going to compete for that starting spot. I don't look at it just because he's a 5th-round pick. I think he has outside. He's an outside pure boundary corner with good hands, long arms. So don't, he has a chance to compete. And then let's shout out Kenny. How you doing, buddy? Kenny's in the house. Kenny, a friend of the show, friend of the program. Me and Bobby Schaus were just talking about you, Kenny, the other day. How good of a guy you are. We got to get you back on. Yeah, listen, let's get to. He says we're not familiar with the safety. Let's get to him. Dante Trader Jr. This is a tape guy, right?
Yeah.
Tape guy, not a workout guy. And remember the comment Chris Greer said, look, I've gone too much traits and maybe not tape, right? He's a fun, he could play everywhere. He's competitive. He's smaller, but can play at the line of scrimmage, can play slot, can play free safety. He's a good player.
Good tackler, too. Good tackler.
The traits, and he was great point. He was very, very impressive in the Senior Bowl. Another leader, special teams ace. Okay, He will play on special teams early, and he will compete in that rotation at safety. I'm a fan of his.
Dude, I am really a fan of his too, and this is what you're looking for too because of that special teams ability, versatility. Look, you're not getting stars per se. You're getting guys who can give themselves opportunity to get on the field and compete. And I think that's exactly what these last 3 picks were at bare minimum. But Trader Jr. specifically, I do like they need to add safeties to battle. I can't necessarily say that there's 2 starters out of who they have in that room right now. You bring back veteran Elijah Campbell, but he's usually been more of a special teams guy than a surefire starter. Yeah, you obviously have your free agents and Melifanu and Ashton Davis coming on in, and the rookie from last year going into a second year, Patrick McMorris. So, I think it's a good potential for Trader to maybe sneak in and make some noise. But, plays.
Right. Yeah. So, look, it's a theme. leaders, guys who love the game. This is a tone. Like, don't get caught up here in the 5th round of the big names like Shedeur Sanders, who went right after us. But that wasn't. I don't even know what the Browns are doing. I don't know why they just didn't take. Like, that's a mess over there. Don't get caught up in the name. These guys here are all graded pretty similar. They like these guys. I think these 3 guys we took here, like, you're gonna really like in training camp, in rookie camp, right? Let's we got a special guest coming on, familiar. Let's bring him on, get his thoughts. He is the one and only FinsFaithful. Again, you've been a part of the team here this draft weekend. How you doing, man? What are your thoughts?
We're doing good. The first time I was on your pod, when Richmond power went down, we talk about the Dolphins going for defense in this draft. So basically, that's why they're doing that. Probably a more athletic, more physical defense. So that's good news. So of course they need to fill so many holes. They missed so much depth. So 3-5s, that helps a lot. So I feel really good they went for defense. Of course, I would have liked for them to also double down on defensive tackle. I'm sorry, on offensive line, and probably on a 12 wide receiver. We'll see.
Browns have, I was a fan of McMorris finding these hidden. I'm a fan of McMorris.
Browns have 5 quarterbacks on that quarterback room.
Yeah. That's great. Did you guys see the war room when they took Shedeur Sanders? Tell me the owners didn't have a say in that pick. They were looking like, it's good. You could tell the GM was telling the coach it's going to be all right, man. It's going to, because it makes no sense.
Yeah, he probably.
Why would you take Dylan Gabriel?
A couple of guarantees.
What happened here is the owner was getting a lot of heat. You took Dylan Gabriel over Shedeur, and then he's still on the board. Go get him. And they went and got him. You could tell in the war room. Did you entertain the thought, Sammy? Would you have entertained this thought?
About who? I'm sorry.
Shorter at Shedeur at 143 because he went to pick after, because there's going to be a small group of fans that are going to be.
Of course there will, but the juice ain't worth the squeeze. It would have been too much on the McDaniel, as of right now, has a lot of problems as a head coach. They had to deal with a lot of problems. Nothing on Shedeur Sanders and nothing on Deion Sanders. But like I said before, Deion has so many friends in the media. He's gonna be out there getting questioned about if he should start over to when he's gonna start. That would probably be a mess. So I would not touch that. We will put a 50-foot pole if you ask me. But that's just.
Was there anybody else you wanted? Like, you thought, okay, let's go here. Jason, or you? Who did you guys think we were taking when we were on the board? Your guy McCord's still on the board. I don't want to jinx it for you.
Yeah,
I mean, we're 3 picks into 6th round is when we select. So hopefully, you never know.
What are we at?
We're at 5 picks left in the 5th. They're at 36.
Okay.
So
what are we? 179.
I'll tell you what. I would have been very happy with a defensive lineman in the name of Joshua Farmer, but I'm happily settling with Jordan Phillips. So we keep the trend set in mind. I would have thought they would probably mix it up maybe with a potential receiver, but they got a safety, which was on the wish list, as well as a corner, which they said they were pretty much eyeing people later, and it was a deep class. So, I'm happy, not thrilled. This is a future draft mindset. This is let's see how this guy does in 2 years, 3 years. Let's hope he makes the team. But they're getting through their picks. They're picking up some capital for next year, which could be used to flip something outside this draft,
agree.
So it's not bad. It's not bad. It's kind of garbage clearing and table setting from an economic books planning standpoint. It's a nice way of saying to redo.
Yeah, I do think, though, these guys are the guys they took, Trader and Marshall Jr. and what's the other guy? Jordan Phillips. I think these guys can play and make immediate impact, though. I think they're guys like with high IQ, competitive, love the game. I think Trader Jr. is a guy you're gonna love, kind of the things he does. It's the testing that worries you, right? But you put on the film, he's a guy who looks better than a 5th round pick, a late 5th round pick. And Jason Marshall Jr., I'm telling you, if he didn't get hurt, I think he could have been a little higher because he's got starting outside corner traits. And again, played high competition in the SEC. And Jordan Phillips, I think, has got big upside. Like, let me tell you something. Your 2 future starting defensive tackles, I know we all love Zach Sealer, but I'm not guaranteed how long Zach Sealer is going to be in the future. Could be Jordan Phillips and Kenneth Grant. He's only 20 years old, Jordan Phillips. So I agree. Look, it's not who's the top players remaining on the Mel Kiper and Daniel Jeremiah's board. It didn't blow you away that way, but it's good. It didn't do anything crazy to me. So I still give it a B plus draft maybe because they traded so much back. They had too much of a gap. That lowers it from an A to me. Where's your grade right now, Sammy? Give me a grade. What were you on? What were you on night after day 2?
Well, after day 2, I like I said, when you draft away assets, and and you lower the margin of error like Chris Greer probably did, because especially if he has as many picks in the top 100, they better hit. So what he did was he moved capital forward to next year. I'm still around the B kind of side of things. Yeah, like we were talking yesterday. But still today, again, you trade assets for something else. Anytime you trade assets and you don't get equal value or better, for me it's a downgrade. So I'm around the B minus, C plus, but it's hard for me. You have to wait and see if they do something with that third-round pick from next year. I think I'll cut that as part of the draft. If they find a way to trade away something that
if they get a starter, they trade that third-round pick and they get a starter, or even if they trade a fourth-round pick and then they still have another third, and they get another starter, then that takes away the gap they had from pick 37 all the way to 143. Is that correct?
But I think I heard Jason say that if they can find a way to pack it up, the Ramsey, the third and everything, and get a young player back that you can take the hit of the cap and that make it work, everything adds up. So that would be a great move for. They can find a younger player, probably not a superstar, but someone who can start, who can fill boys, and you give it a third, and they take the hit on the money, and we take the cap hit. That might work out.
Yeah. Shout out to we got 136 people in here. You came back, everybody. We want to get back to 400 where everybody was when we left. Come back over here. We got Jason Sarney. We got Finn Sammy. Guys, make sure you're coming on over to YouTube, smashing that like and subscribe button. We're gonna take you as long as we can go here. We're recapping the Dolphins pick. We pick Jason. We pick what? 179? Is that our next pick?
179 is next. That's 3 picks into the 6th round.
All right. So can we have? I want to have a little fun with these next picks, right? Give us a little. Do we need to get a little sexy or no?
Let's do it. How could we have a lot of fun? What is going to make somebody cheer?
I know what give you
cheer at this point.
I know what.
We all know when things are fun.
I don't want to jinx it, but if they
the worst kept secret in the world right now.
Yes, absolutely.
What are we going to do if they take Kyle McCord, Sammy? What are we going to do?
Let me tell you something. Let me just set it up. Let me just set it up right now.
All right.
I always loved, and there's reasoning. I always loved Syracuse football, okay? Because I grew up in New York. There's not like a New York City or a Long Island football team. It was on TV for me in the 90s and early 2000s. It was like before everything went to craze. Was Syracuse, Penn State, Notre Dame. Those are the teams that I was watching. Hensel, Jim McDuffie, and a lot of hitters that I love. But Syracuse was always on, and I loved the basketball program. So Robbie Conrad, love Rob Conrad. Anybody from Syracuse that hits this Dolphin team is amazing. Now, Kyle McCord on this team is a backup. I get it, but I just like what he could do and his potential. It would almost remind me of like when Kirk Cousins was drafted, as a backup to the same guy that they drafted.
Oh, yes. Goes for Rod and
Robert Griffin III.
Robert Griffin.
Like they drafted 2 quarterbacks.
Sorry. No, but they also did what got for Rod, the Redskins did. I think it was Kai Shur, and they doubled down on quarterback. Apparently the Redskins have to do that because they did that.
The only reason I say that is because it was a situation where, all right, cool, they have a quarterback, but oh my God, they're going to get another guy developing, and he ended up doing well, and they created value for him. And lo and behold, say what you want about the player, but the mindset was almost correct. And I'll tell you, if there's a quarterback out there that could win 3 out of 4 games for the Dolphins, if God forbid they need to, if Zach Wilson isn't the guy in 2 years, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This is the guy who could do it. And you can create value around him. And it would be fun to get that type of a player. It almost like a deeper arm, better armed Chad Pennington in my mind.
You got that around the money. I was listening to you guys. I was driving, but I had it on YouTube. I think I was on the car driving. And you got it right on the money. It was Mike Holmgren with the Packers. They used to do that every single year. They find a way to draft a bottom of the draft quarterback, develop him, and always get so many types So many times they trade him away. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. It didn't. The Seahawks, when he was with the Seahawks, he did that too. AJ Feely comes to mind. But it is what it is. It's not wrong to take a quarterback this point of the draft. Having said that, Mike Daniel's going to get one of those picks. So he's going to get the 6th round pick. One of
them is going to Mike.
I would like for Mike McDaniel to draft to someone to turn to Mike McDaniel and say, who would you draft as a quarterback? I want to see, since you're the quarterback guru, who you think you can develop. Of course, you have to develop without taking much time in practice. And if Mike McDaniel has his way, he's going to probably take a running back or an edge, like I said before. But it will be good to see what kind of quarterback, if they could give that chance to Mike McDaniel, who would they draft?
Yeah. Say, look, we need a developmental guy. But, there's only a couple more, Jason. Then you wait till undrafted free agency, right? Like
I'm going to have a ball with that.
Yeah. That's going to be fun.
Fun ones.
Yeah.
Because the Dolphins has been very successful doing on the undrafted part of the draft. They're gonna get a lot of bodies, like 2 or 3 or probably 4 guys that are gonna make this team. So that should be very, very interesting.
You know what I said when I came away to that press conference? Like, I don't know if they're gonna draft the quarterback, but like thinking they're not really gonna draft him high because he kind of mentioned next year's quarterback class. Again, you always got to read the line between Chris Greer when he talks. So I wouldn't be surprised. It's very clear he wanted to fill all the needs. He wanted to shut up the critics. That, for people to say he doesn't look at the media, he looked, okay? Because we're taking care of the trenches. I'm tired of hearing about it. I'm tired of my wife getting complained at when she walks in Publix saying, I don't hear anything she tells me. That's bull crap, all right? He knows what's going on, right? Yeah.
Not only that, there are piles of literature that are put on everybody's desk at one point on what people are saying.
They got a great PR. Their PR person is good.
No,
and the
I'm not saying it's every single word but their ears are all over the place. Eyes are all over the place.
Has Orondegas the unit been picked up?
Yes, he went to. He just went a few picks ago, 165 to the Chargers. Denzel Burke. Oh, Jackson Hollis went to Buffalo at tight end at 173.
That's a good spot for them because they like tall wide receivers. He's like kind of a tweener. That kind of guy.
I thought he was a guy who they would be interested in, a blocky tight end, a Yale guy. I thought he's somebody they'd be looking at. Let me pull up the. Why don't I pull up the draft tractor here while we're doing this? Where is that? Let's share the screen here.
You need like some kind of special effect. Sound like draft tracker.
Right. You're the producer guy.
We'll work on that. Let's do something like that. We're gonna spice it up. I promise you. We're gonna work on that. I'm gonna help you out with those things.
Yeah.
That's coming.
That's coming. Everybody.
You can count on me on that.
Come.
We'll find a way to work it.
Xavier Restrepo, he's still out there. That 4.8 really hurt him.
Restrepo, so
yeah, I say it again.
That's a shame with Restrepo falling because of the speed.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's a shame.
Here's the thing I thought about. I would like I think the Titans should take him. I think they should pair him up with Cam Ward. He was real comfort. They took.
You've been on that. I agree.
Yeah. What do the Titans pick? Let's see. Where are we at? Let's see. Let's go to the next round.
Oh no! Here are the Jets. I'm nervous about what the Jets do right now again.
Who did I say?
Having acquired a good draft.
The Titans pick at 183.
They just are having the kind of draft the Dolphins.
Trade alert! Baltimore's on the clock. They trade with the Jets. Baltimore's on the clock.
That the Jets are having probably.
Oh no! Baltimore trades to New York. Sorry, Sammy. Go ahead.
Go ahead.
Yeah, Baltimore trades to the Jets. Yeah, sorry. Finish your thought there, Sammy. All right, so go ahead.
I'm saying that you know that a lot of players the Dolphins fans wanted are now with the Jets. So
yeah,
there are a lot of people saying like, we suck because the Jets got. It happens.
Yeah. Oh, the Titans pick 183. If I'm the Titans and Restrepo still there, why not? Give him the guy he's really comfortable with, man. And I know he ran
Tyler Barron.
Okay. Oh, the edge out of Miami. He's a sleeper.
He's correct.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah.
All right, Dolphins are in the hole. Dolphins are almost.
We're in the hole. Let's look. You guys want to look at the BPA right now? According to, let's have some fun here.
Hey,
I
listen,
think they're going
get it
to
all
run
out
it.
now, everybody. We got a couple of picks left. Let's get it all out now. Let's leave everything on the computers.
Amy and Martinez is still available.
Yeah.
Yeah, that would work. Let's start naming some guys out there. Damian Martinez
right.
would work for sure.
Devin Neal's really good
I like
too.
Cameron Williams. Cameron Williams
is Jalen Reed, man. But they took Dorian Strong. What about is Isaiah Bond just undraftable now with those charges?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's undraftable. Aeneas Peebles, Chase Lunt, I like Fedone. I think he's an older prospect. We got this guy here. You know anything about him, Jason Sarni? Solos.
Thomas Fedone with Nebraska?
Yes, tight end. No, I like him. I think he's a sleeper. He's an older prospect, was highly recruited, but big, long, strong vice grips for hands. What about sell us on Colin McCord?
Again, wow.
Again.
People aren't going to slam the door on me.
Yeah, no.
Smart, gets the ball out quick, could be more of a pocket passer who can work a little, mobility outside the pocket, making sure he's not a mobile quarterback.
Yeah.
He's got a good deep ball, good arm. Like I said before, I could advertise him, hopefully, if people could imagine a stronger armed, cerebral Chad Pennington. And I think that's what you want right now. You don't want someone to come on in like a Sanders could have been before going in, or like some other picks trying to take the job now. I think McCord can be heady enough and smart enough to realize this is to his team now. I'm right behind him and Zach Wilson. I see you boys. I'm in the film room. I'm practicing. I'm ready. I got a couple-year contract here. I could start in 2026 if things roll my way. That's what I think he will enter as. And I think that's what you want.
Gosh, yeah. Will, what's up? My brother Will. Yeah, Bashard Smith, the former he's got some juice, man. Played former player, switched to running back. He's 4.39. He's explain to the people, Jason, why Isaiah Bond, if they don't know the situation.
I don't know it well enough from a criminal dashboard enough or a police blotter. But at this point, I don't want any stupid headaches. I want a football player who can play two phases of the game and has got potential and development is on the forefront here. I'm not looking for a headache. And I'll tell you, if there's anybody in the organization that doesn't want any headache, it's this guy's a 7th rounder or 6th rounder, and I have to deal with this. No, just give me a football player.
Yeah. Scotty in the chat was asking about it. Yeah, Scotty, basically there were some assault allegations. Everybody's innocent to proven guilty. Well, they got to let that process come out, but it's not a good sign when it happens before the draft. So, again, we don't go ahead.
At this point, you're probably going to see how some drafted players.
Yeah,
because
agree.
When you guys pass the 5th round, if it's not if it has that kind of problem, he's going to be undrafted and probably be able to choose whenever he wants to go.
So looking at the players, guys, we got over 200 people watching. Come on over, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. The Dolphins are a few picks away, so make sure you guys come on over here. We're going to react to the pick as long as we're talking about the whole draft and the last 3 5th-round picks. We'll get into all that. And then they got 3 7th-round picks. So it's 7th round, but you got 3 lottery tickets. Hopefully you hit on one, right?
Two.
Two
7th. They got rid of one. Yeah.
I'm horrible at keeping track of the picks. Thank God Jason Sarni's on this show because he's been keeping me in check. We got 2 7th-round picks. So we got 3 more picks. We got a 6, 2 7s. 3 of those picks, let's try to get one guy at least that makes the roster, right? Is it two out of the 3? Oh, Willie Lincoln's a guy who I said I'd put at fullback. He was a center. He's 5'10", 270. But, man, his tape is good. He killed it at the Senior Bowl. But people are like, he's an outlier. People are scared to take outliers, but I'd consider him at fullback. He's that good of a blocker. Imagine him in short yardage situations. I wouldn't be opposed to that at all, and it kind of fits their attitude and tone theme that seems like Chris Greer is going. APK made a good – he says Greer's drafts in the trenches because that is what they need. He's not because he's listening to the fans. Yeah, well, they needed that a long time ago. He should have been – what happened in 2020? Yeah. Willie Land, he's a center.
No, I thought you were breaking up there. I didn't hear what you said. Sorry.
Yeah. He's only
Willie
5'10", and what is he, 5'10", 270, you know. We thought Aaron Brewer was small. Dorian Strong still go ahead.
See a lot of Dolphins fans calling for Restrepo here. I will be shutting down.
Are we spoiling the pick? We just mute everything out and just not mute everything out, but or just let somebody tell us, or we just wait till it pops up?
No, this is the part of the drive where you just spoil the pick if you got.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Spoilage.
Yeah.
I honestly think you can. We're just whoever's ahead, just say it. You know.
Yeah.
You don't want to spoil a first or second rounder in like prime time.
So look at the best player available is on the pick. We're a couple picks away. We're at what one? Where are we at, Jason? We're
what
2
would
picks
make
away.
sense here? We're 1 pick away.
One pick
we're
away.
On deck.
Yeah, we're on deck. Let's look at the board.
Makes sense here. Well, okay. I want.
Go ahead.
If we're just going to keep to the theme, just draft one of the best remaining tackles for a swing tackle candidate, whether that's Cameron Williams from Texas or Logan Brown from Kansas.
Or Chase Lund.
And you can go further. Sure. But if that mindset is good, either give me that quarterback that I want. He'll be available. I don't think the Ravens are going quarterback right now. But either give me McCord or give me one of those tackles. Do you want to go into guard again? You know, not my cup of tea at the exact moment, but give me a tackle right now. Very happy.
Let's look at the available tackles. You mentioned Cameron Williams. You mentioned Logan Brown. Cornelius from Oregon's another guy.
He's fallen. Yeah, he's another one.
This guy right here is just, you want to talk about looks the part? I mean, he's just huge, but he's a project. You know, powerful guy against the run, highly touted coming out. You know, another guy who's just like 7'8" engulfs players, but he's way more of a developmental guy. That's Miles Hinton. He's a guy I'd take a shot on, maybe if he's still there in round 7. For looking at running back, okay, Devin Neal, Damian Martinez, Ollie Gordon, Rashad Smith, LaQuinn, all the guys. I know the Dolphins are high on the Rutgers kids. You know a lot about the Rutgers kids, right?
Kyle Monaghan. Kyle Monaghan. Listen, if you want a power back, he might be one of that Damian Martinez light kind of guys that you can get as a power back. Yeah. Rutgers kid, hard-nosed mindset. I like that. North-south kind of runner. So, yeah, that would be a round 7 gem or an undrafted to bring on in. Sure.
Yeah, he's a guy I would keep an eye on. And plus, you know, the other guy here on the not necessarily the running back, it was somebody I wanted to come up and look at the wide receivers. Restrepo, Daquan Felton, Nick Nash is a sleeper here. He's a big receiver. I don't know if he's too much. Yeah, I don't know if he's too much of an NWI kind of clone there, but I'm a fan of. I was a fan of his. I don't know if this is a tad bit too early for him. You got Tez Johnson. I don't know if they'd be interested in another 5'10". You got Bruce McCoy, the big receiver out of Tennessee. Tight end, Fedoni. Tight end group's got.
Be right back.
Yep, sure. Will Howard, Quinn Ewers at the quarterback, Riley Leonard. What do you like here, Sammy?
The Dolphins, I still believe they think they need a more offensive line help. I would not be shocked if I would.
More offensive
because they need bodies on the offensive line for sure.
Yeah. What was I going to ask? So do you think would you stick with the team? Just go line of scrimmage here. Keep going line of scrimmage.
I'm sorry.
Would you just keep sticking with the line of scrimmage? Just keep going line of scrimmage in this draft?
Yeah, and you need to get more physical. That's a downfall. Right? Obviously, has so many times where they're so athletic, but when you, like I say, we are in the AFC Northeast because we when this December, you know, everybody, most of the teams in the AFC are in cold weather. If you were in the NFC, you have so many dome teams, the Saints, the Vikings, and so many teams in the cold weather. San Francisco is on the south part of the U.S. and Atlanta to Tampa. So LA, there are a lot of teams in the NFC that are in the south, but in the AFC, most of the teams are up north, and most of the teams we're going to compete in the playoffs are cold weather teams. From Kansas City, Pittsburgh, everyone into the AFC East. I think the only dome team probably will be the Colts, and you need to the Colts. The only time they won the Super Bowl, they had to run the table and be basically the home team all the way in the playoffs. So, but they found a way to beat the Patriots so many times, but that's I digress. So you need to be more physical. You need to have a lot of bodies in the offensive line because they're part of the team. They're part of the season. We've got always so many offensive line go down for the offense. So I will double down on offensive line either here or later. You need bodies for sure.
Yeah, but he was a sleeper. The kid that just went to the Ravens, Bilal Cohen. I was so high in him.
That's
I liked him as
you were.
Yeah, you remember him? I feel better that the Ravens took him. That makes me feel.
The Dolphins pick is in.
Dolphins pick us in. Here we go, round 6. Any guesses, guys? They could go anywhere.
I'll stick to my guns with the quarterbacks of the offensive tackle.
McCord.
Offensive tackle, stick to it.
Yeah.
Kicker.
That's great.
Oh man, that really.
Probably was wrong, but Ollie Gordon apparently.
Yeah, he's still available. The thing about Ollie Gordon is, I didn't love him. Everybody, because I didn't. Sometimes when you watch a guy at the combine, you see him and you kind of put your eyes on him without. I was expecting a little more. He's a 2-down back, right? If you're looking for short yardage, early down, he's fine. Like Damian Martinez, I like better because
that will be my identical pick if Ollie Gordon is a pick.
Which one?
Say it if you got it at this point, folks.
Yeah. You said who you want, Sammy? You said your ideal pick?
No, I want offensive line.
Offensive
line.
Yeah.
But if this is my identical pick, like I said before, he's going to running back or edge over here.
So yeah, the thing is that's why I like Damian Martinez a little bit better than Gordon because Damian gives you some wiggle also for a big back. He's not as big.
I think most people do, yes.
Yeah. But I know there's a lot of people who like Ollie Gordon. Dolphins pick is in. They're on the clock.
Bobby has the pick, and it's Ollie Gordon.
It is?
Yes.
Oh, okay, good pick.
Ollie Gordon. Okay. We got physical. We got physical. We got the big back. I don't hate it. Early short yardage.
Like I said it a couple of minutes ago. If what will be a running back, and it was going to be a running back was a Mike Mandela pick. So they allowed Mike Mandela to make this pick for the Dolphins.
Yes, Ollie Gordon. Here's what it is. I lowered my expectations on Ollie Gordon, and I started liking him more because I was like, you know what? I was thinking like the highly thought of big back who everybody thought was going to be a first, second, third round pick a few years ago, and then I look what he is. Early downs, short yardage, and I was like, okay, I'm buying it more. So good job. Shout out to Bobby Shouts. He had the pick. Bobby, if you can come on, if you ever want to come on, I sent you the link, man. If you got time, whatever you're doing, we'll be on here breaking down the pick. So Ollie Gordon, guys, initial thoughts. The pick is in. Doak Walker winner in 2003.
Well,
2023.
I like it. He has, he's a power back and he can catch the ball out of the backfield. So he can be a third down back specialist for that kind of role. Can he block? I don't know. I'm not saying he can't, but I like his specialty ability to either pick up short yardage, add a little juice as a receiver out of the backfield on third and long. You know what I mean? If you're going to utilize him for that. So I'm happy about this pick. There was 2 or 3 power backs, Damian Martinez, Ollie Gordon, and deeper was that kid Montague guy from Rutgers. But yeah, I like this pick a lot. This is fine.
Yeah, I do. I if we're going to get it back, I wanted a big back. So sign me up. It was him, Damian Martinez, were the last really big backs left that I liked. Devin Neal. But yeah, here's the little report on Ollie Gordon, from the ESPN draft tracker here. Led the FBS in rushing yards and ranked second in rushing touchdowns in 23. Big back with size, strength, break tackles, carry defenders, push the pile. When he doesn't get a seam, gets down. He's a downhill runner. Basically what we said. He's a early – the 2023 year, everybody thought this guy was going to be a high pick. 24.
Fell off a little bit.
Yeah, fell off a little bit. So maybe we're taking a swing here. I know some people in the community like Ollie Gordon. I warmed up to him at the end of the process because I have my expectations as first and second down back, and he complements the running back room, guys. All right? He complements Devon A-Chain. Go ahead.
No, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm on a delay. I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. So, in a goal line, a short yardage situation and goal line. So, yeah, continues the trend here, Sammy. You mentioned Ollie Gordon.
The Dolphins needed a big back for sure. Let me see if that is right. Yes, 6'1", 226 pounds. The report said he's not a very athletic guy, so he's his goal line back. But the Dolphins for sure needed a goal line back. So, I knew they were going to get a big back probably because it was needed when they drove Devon Achane at the goal line. Devon Achane at short yardage against the Dolphins wall. He was going backward so many times. Achane cannot keep taking the kind of pounding. They needed a big back. So it is what it is. But I'm pretty sure my man have to do something with this pick. He's not the most athletic guy from what I'm reading. So probably.
No, he went to Philly.
McCord, you're
in my backyard.
Oh no.
Oh, I knew what I tell you. I said he's going to go to either Jersey or stay home. He's staying home.
He's staying in the drive side, yes.
He's in the Northeast. No. I'm going to start walking into Wawa and see Kyle McCord jerseys. You know what? If there's literally any place that he needed to go, though, let me just take a step back. I get to watch him.
True.
Carry the clipboard.
Right in your backyard.
I can't wait for that selfie when he wants to walk away.
Hey, Howie, I know you got a lot of things going on. In a couple of years, trade him to us. Damn, man. He goes to the champions. Howie Roseman and the Eagles select the quarterback. I want to freaking whatever. Thank you, Clown Prince, for giving. I knew it was coming. Once I read, "Oh no, Jason," I'm like, "Up, he gone. He gone."
I just tweeted out. I said, "Come join us for the Ollie Gordon pick reaction to Jason, our Sonny's reaction to Kyle McCord getting picked by the Eagles." If nobody knows, tell us the backstory why the Kyle McCord to the Eagles the Kyle McCord backstory. So if anybody's just joining us,
it's just it's a Northeast kid. He grew up in Jersey. I mean, listen, if you're in this kind of area, Northeast New York, like Philly, Jersey area, it's all the same shit. And he's a Cuse guy who went to Ohio State, so there's going to be a heck of a lot of local support for him in this 90-mile radius. Obviously Syracuse is a little outside that radius, but in terms of areas that I'm familiar with, this is going to be a probably celebrated pick. For it to be just simply a backup to Jalen Hurts, a guy who runs a lot and goes over tush pushes and has an injury risk. So when we see Kyle McCord inevitably play a snap, not rooting for any injury, but this kid's going to develop into a really good pro. I'll tell you who the worst is. The worst is he'll be the most financially sound backup of all time eventually, like Chase Daniels. Watch that.
Yeah, and yeah, shout out to Clown. Yeah, how he does it best. Going back to the Ollie Gordon pick, I think we're going to have more of a power package scheme on offense here with Sabanea, James Daniels. Now we got Ollie Gordon. The more I'm thinking about the Ollie Gordon pick, I really like it a lot. We wanted a big back. We were always going between Damian Martinez and him, right, Jason, and all the mock drafts.
Yeah, let me give you my notes on Ollie Gordon. Oversized pile pusher, falls forward. He's a smooth route runner where he's coming out of the backfield for receivers. Got 80 NCAA catches. Willing, violent pass pro blocker, but there's obviously maybe some technical refinement pro-wise and with obviously pro, pressure.
Yeah.
But I like him for the job done. Look, is this going to be a 30-touch guy? No, not at all. But to have a little bit of a change of pace, I like this. I like this pick, and I think I'll elevate to a B+. B+.
Yeah.
The plus is the power.
It's interesting, because, again, as a sophomore, he was tremendous. You know what I mean? He had 1,732 rushing yards. You know what I mean? And his junior season, he had 20 carries or more, plummeted from 21 to 6 in his junior year. 20 yards or more. In his sophomore year, he had 20-plus carries 21 times. Last year, only 6. Why did that happen, right? It's an enigma here. I don't know. Maybe this is a guy who can play above his slot. To me, he lacks the creativity. He lacks the kind of the explosiveness to be a 3-down back. but I think he can develop as I think he has some upside as a blocker. If he can develop more in the pass catching, which he has, it'll help him, right? But there's no doubt about it. He's going to help this team, what this team needs. For the Dolphins, I like the Ollie Gordon pick. I think this is he fits the Dolphins probably more than any other team right now and what they needed, because everything the Dolphins we've asked for, guys, they've done it in this draft. Correct? Besides trading down between 37 and not having a pick to 143. Bigger back, powerful offensive guard, up the middle, and stout on the defensive side.
Third down back. Perfect third down back.
Everything they've done. Shout out to the place kicker, the University of Miami kid, Andres Borregales, right? Went to the Patriots in round 6 here.
That's such a Patriot pick, too.
Yeah. We got over 220 people watching, guys. Make sure you smash that like and subscribe button. If you're watching next, come on over to YouTube, guys. Hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button. Help support us here. We appreciate it. We're live with you. Dolphins just took running back Ollie Gordon, the big 6'1", 226-pound back. Fits the power run scheme now that we're lacking. You add him with A-Chain. You add him with Jalen Wright. There's a role. You guys think there's a role for him early on, right? On short yardage situations, correct?
Oh, yeah. And I think right now Alex Madison's got to take notice. Madison.
I wasn't a fan of that.
There was no guarantee he's shooting up for 17 games. Tell you that much.
It's a 1-year deal, so.
Well, that's right. I mean, this is. I like this pick. It keeps to the mindset. It just keeps to the mindset.
Yes. They went secondary. They took care of the secondary with those last 2 picks, right? They went trenches, took care of the secondary.
They addressed it.
No, I mean, took care of it far in this draft. You know what I mean? Yeah. For what they had, for where they were, they wanted to get some pieces to compete in the secondary. They did that, and I don't count on Jason Marshall being a guy who can compete early on to start, because I don't think they're done in the cornerback position. No, that pick we got could be to grab a corner, or they're going to definitely sign a street free agent. You guys agree they're definitely not done at corner, right? As far as free agency.
Undrafted free agency, they'll bring in 2. Undrafted free agency, they'll bring in 2 corners, a safety or 2, a wide receiver, a running back. I mean, they have their standard groupings, But I also think you're going to see some linebackers. You're going to see some wide receivers that they're going to work out, because there are still wide receivers out there. Do you draft one around? These 2 picks are absolute crapshoot picks in 231 and 253. We got a long way to go until them, but absolute crapshoot picks. At this point, I would probably pass on another quarterback.
Well, if Madonna gets another pick, he's going to another quarterback.
I'll tell you a quarterback they would probably look at is Quinn Ewers. That's the only one I could see them. I know McDaniels is a fan of his, so you never know. I mean, when's our next pick, Jason, in the 7th round?
231.
We have a long way to go. It's like 231.
We have a long way to go. So it's
a long way to go. You want to take a break and come back a little bit when the 7th hits? We got a long way. You can say whatever you want.
I'm up to stay around a little bit longer. I got nothing else to do. If you guys got to go, you guys are free to go anytime you want. You say, George, and we'll drop the stream. But I'm okay to keep going for right now. Just watching the draft along with the people on YouTube. Devin Neal just went.
Love it. We'll keep it on. Yeah, that's your guy too. You like Devin Neal a lot.
New Orleans Saints, yeah. So let's look.
You're gonna start calling George Tony Gwynn because he has so many hits on this draft. He hit on a lot of parts of the draft. A lot of guys went into the slot. So you can take your Barry Horowitz, or you can take your own pat in the back. By George, you got it.
Two amazing references in 5 seconds from Sammy. Amazing references.
What were the references? I didn't hear the first one.
Well, the Barry Horowitz.
Oh, the Barry.
Dude, that was
fantastic. I appreciate it. I mean, the draft board was a lot of fun, right?
And but it's a lot of work.
It's a lot of work. Tony Gwynn, my man, has said that was fantastic.
More hits than Tony Gwynn. I'm gonna tweet that quote out. I gotta tweet that quote out. Yeah, here's the thing about it. I sit up, right? I stand up. It's kind of when me and Jason did all the horizontal, rankings. We didn't do it in order, right? When we went through all the rankings. We went through each position. It was the kind of a horizontal board. Then you got to change it. Now we're going a vertical board. And what I did is I looked at everything and I just started ranking it. Where if I was the GM in that war room, where would I feel comfortable taking a guy no matter what position he played? And it played out like that. It just went like that. So some of those guys who get paid kind of I agreed with them and they agreed with me,
and that's basically the way to do it. But when you do that with one team, it's one thing. You did it with a lot of teams where you probably had an idea where they should go or what part of the draft. Because if you only do it for the Dolphins, you can say around here at levels. But when you hear again, when you had so many singles, like you did in this draft, it's really impressive.
Sammy, I'll be honest, I didn't even do that. I went just on the best players I had. I didn't go by, it just, if it happened to go like that, it happened to go like that,
Yeah, but that's what happened. That's what happened.
And it was very difficult in this draft to kind of do that. Should we bring the big board up? Should we bring
now you got to bring it up.
Dude, you got a day left. You got a couple hours left to gloat about it. Yeah. Great.
Where are we at here?
George, hitting that amount of players within the top 85.
All right, so let's go with the Dolphins pick.
Mm-hmm.
Kenneth Graham was at 14. They went 13. Savanea, 39. He went 37. For example, let's see. Trevion Harrison, I think, went 42. Other guys, Landon Jackson went in the 40s. Orman Noman-Lott went 62. I had him 61. Jack Bent went 58. I had him 59.
And you had Xavier Watts probably. Should have gone.
Yeah. Jacob Parrish, right around that range. Trapilio, right around that range. And some of the guys, you have guys, it's obviously not going to be perfect. Savion Williams, we had him rated higher than anybody. He went where did he go in the 80s, right? To Green Bay. So
Green Bay, they need more help.
And Tesla, Ransall, guys that nobody had in there. We had in this bottom of the top 100. So
and again, George, you both complimented so well because you basically had them where they should go, and Jason took that to another level, the attention to detail. So for us who were watching during the on series, it was a blast. You guys did a phenomenal job.
Yeah, Joshua Stewart went like in the 83. We had him 82. Like it just worked out. I had Demetrius Knight as the next best linebacker. He went higher, and that's the one mistake I'll make. I wanted to put him higher, but I just kind of didn't feel comfortable, and I had him over those other guys, the Chris Paul Jr.'s. I didn't like any of those guys, and he went, I think, 49 or 50. So, Noah Williams went around the range he went at 76. So it was fun, right? I had a blast with it. I mean, the on-season, man, was I had this idea. I never imagined it would be this good. You gotta have chemistry with people, right? And that's
you guys had it for sure.
Yeah, and we're gonna do more. Thursday's our wrap-up day, right? I usually have a show on Monday. I'm taking a break. I'm not. There's no Monday.
Well
show.
Earned. You deserve that, dude.
A Monday break Thursday. We'll be back with everything, you know what I mean? And we'll be on your show on Tuesday, right, Sammy? Yeah.
Yes.
We'll be on, Fins TV and all that stuff. But plug what we got all this time. Plug the Tuesday show and what's going on.
Jason, let's talk a little bit of your article. The guys you were expecting to go pro today in the first half, how did you do that article?
The guys that I expect to go in the first round?
No, you said the Dolphins had probably 6 choices
for today.
For today.
I mean, if you look at the way it started, I had 6 guys. They were flying off the board rather
exactly.
quickly.
That's what I mean.
One was thank you. I appreciate that, Sammy. I mean, it was the safeties in particular. It was Billy Bowman. It was Latham Ransom, who I really thought one of them would have been fine. And then you had Jalen Travis, who was one of my guys. It wasn't in the article, but I liked him. But Jalen Royals was snapped up by Kansas City, I believe. And then Alec Ayumanor, Titans. I don't like it for him. But, I mean, and Joshua Farmer went right after that to the Patriots.
Let's catch up on Sunday. Yeah, you all the guys went right. You know what's funny? right after the Dolphins pick, Sanders went. Right after the Dolphins pick, Kyle McCord went. Like players we like went right. It's just our luck, right? Will Howard.
I don't mind.
Will Howard just
You can
went to
take
the
Cal.
Steelers.
Really?
Will Howard from Ohio State just went to the Steelers. So they
You
got
can
their
take a little
quarterback.
solace when players go relatively to where we wanted them. You can take a little bit of solace.
Yeah. Well, who's left at quarterback? Let me just take a look at that if we're gonna do a late round quarterback thing here. Boy, okay.
That's probably the next thing.
You know what's funny? I like a little Riley Leonard. I not as a oh my god as a developmental. I like a little Riley Leonard. He's a good athlete, wins everywhere he goes, big, good arm. Like I've always liked him as a developmental guy. And if you want to take him in the 7th round, why not? Right? Like we're in the 7th round, guys. You're throwing darts at the board here.
Again,
you can take some chances.
You guys are the draft guys. I go by experience, but this time after the 5th round, everything goes. But you look for guys with essential, great qualities in one area and try to develop them. Their other qualities. That's why they go to special teams. They're great special teams, or short yardage back, or someone in the end zone. They're guys who are not great on all facets of the game, but you can take one special quality that makes them go above the rest. So the Dolphins probably did that with taking Ollie as a running back, as a goal line back. So a tall wide receiver, a big pile mover on the offensive line. That's not the same kind of offensive line that the Dolphins need to go. The small athletic one to the pro will go to a big offensive lineman, a kicker to compete with Sanders. Anything goes as this part of the draft.
Yeah. The Bills broke my heart with the Jackson Dolls. I thought he was going to be. I was for sure that he was going to be one of the Dolphins pick. Who's that tight end? Who's left at tight end? C.J. Dupree.
One of those big tight ends, a goal line tight end.
This is the only guy I would take here. Jalen Connors is interesting out of Texas Tech, but I like Fedone. I do. RJ Mickens is still available, huh? Boy, there's some good players in the board. RJ Mickens, Cameron Williams,
talent for sure.
When you talk about tight ends, Penn State is the fabric for tight ends, but Iowa is not that far behind, so I would not be shocked if one of those Iowa tight ends that the later rounds becomes a good tight end.
If you're looking for a big corner, Tommy Hill, Aeneas Peebles, there's some good offensive linemen still available. Really good offensive linemen still available.
One of those quarterbacks that's like Joe Wooden in the 90s that it came up as the draft as a corner, but they can't convert it to safety. A big corner will be.
This is wasn't this Chavis's guy, Jason? Corey Chavis's guy? Antoine Ryland, the edge out of Virginia Tech?
Yes.
Yeah. That was his guy. Who else we got going on? Let me see what
George, I want to ask you now I'm asking as a fan of the show.
Okay.
Those guys you had for interviews, how did they do on the draft?
Jackson Slater went to the Titans in round 5, right? So shout out to the Titans. And Darius Maxwell, he's more of an undrafted guy, I think. He'll be a guy that some team hopefully will get a chance in. But I wish him well. He's a great kid, really good guy, faith-based player. Took a hard road to get there, went through a bunch of different alleys. So I hope he gets his shot. But Jackson Slater's a guy for the Titans, I think, that can play pretty early. It's a good comp for Ollie Gordon. Marion Barber a little bit, Will says, Palm Prince. Somebody said Le'Veon Bell. If anybody has any questions in the chat for us, we got 247 people watching. We appreciate it, guys. We're here with you on day 3. Well, we just took Ollie Gordon. To wrap it up, we took
Jason. Please don't watch what Joe Gruden had to say about your guy Kyle McCord right now, because you're gonna be
go for it.
You're gonna be hurting even more.
Go for it, Sammy.
Eagles fans, I can tell you one thing: Kyle McCord is gonna give you maximum effort every single day. Love these kids. Best of nothing. Best of luck, Kyle. And Amando Salguero, or my friend Amando saying, watch him light up in Miami, and couldn't stop watching him after his Eagles got a real one. So Jason's right. it's a set pick for the Eagles if you go by what Armando Zagaro and Legura had to say.
Yeah,
I appreciate that, Sammy. I'm hurt, but I'm not. I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
Yeah, Jason, we need your energy back. It just took all the energy out of him.
I'm upset.
Yeah, but
I'll be all right. I'll be all right.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah, Jason is right because when guys like that come out and say, they got a little one, it goes for everything Jason's been saying.
You know what I love though?
For a couple of weeks now, if not more.
You know what I love? Like, I love when guys have conviction on players.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're right or wrong. I love the fact you have a conviction on somebody. Like, that's what I do. Like, to me, to sit here, I put on my board. I basically went naked and defrauded myself here and put out the board, and I didn't know how it was going to turn out. I had some hits, some success, but maybe it won't next time, right? But these are my guys I like, and this is what you're going to get on the show. You're going to get the work put in. You're going to get the board. You're going to get all that stuff. We're going to tell you, and we're going to be objective, and we're going to tell you like it is. I told you, I treat Tua like I treat Austin Jackson, like I treat Zach Sealer. It's the same thing, all right? I'm a fan of the logo, not a fan of the back of the shirt, right, in the jersey. And
you have to go. I hear you go with the hits and with your misses because I don't want to name names, but there's some guys that have 20 guys that love, and they hit on one and say, "That's my guy. I told you every single time." Of course, you hit on one. While the 20 others, you say there's going to be a huge hit that nobody cares about. So that happens to a lot of people around the other.
Yeah. Like
a lot of people are around.
Unfortunately, in this board, I got to say a lot of things. Right, it worked out. Now, ultimately, it'll work out in the field. That would be the determination. That, you know what I mean? That's the next step. But Jalen Reed, we just went to the Texans. That's another safety. Oh, another kicker, Sammy, your favorite. Place kicker went to the Ravens.
Yeah, they need a kicker.
That guy's a Pro Bowler, right?
Yeah, if the Ravens pick him, he's probably a good guy. But the Ravens are in the hot seat with their kicker, so picking a kicker is not a bad idea for them.
Oh, another running back just went. Another big back. Did we start the run? Let's get Damian Martinez off the board here. Come on, guys.
I would not be shocked if they don't.
Let's get Damian Martinez off the board. This is a deep running back.
The Dolphins found another running back in the draft. They've been doubling down. They need to double down on offensive line. They probably will double down on running back. Who knows?
Kickers are people too.
Yes.
We're at this point of the program, guys. We're at this. Hey, this is how the NFL Network must be doing. That's why they invented the stump the truck.
Listen, if you watch ESPN for the last, 35 years, as I've been saying, of course, Jason is much younger than I am, but 75 years watching the draft, that's what they do. They run out of stuff to talk about, but they keep bringing so much stuff out. So what we do here, we basically
whatever happens.
Bring in the questions.
Bring in the questions. Bring in whatever you got.
Let's take this everybody you want. So because that's the part.
Let's talk about this. Who are some of the drafts you guys liked? Jason,
Seattle.
Let me look at them.
Seattle.
Let's go over some of the drafts so far. Again, thank you for the over 240 viewers we got. Make sure you're on here on YouTube, guys. Do us a favor. Hit that thumbs up. Hit that subscribe bell. Also, you make sure you do that with Fins TV and Sammy's channel. Don't forget to do that. After you leave this show, make sure you follow them and check them out also. We'll be on with them Tuesday, recapping everything. All right, so let's go to 8 p.m. All right, so you said Seattle's draft, Jason. Let's look at Seattle.
Absolutely. I mean, starting with Gray Zabel, which I saw. I thought I put him on the mock.
You called that, didn't you?
I love that fit. Sometimes you can close your eyes. You could see a need. You could see the jersey. You could see the player. Sometimes it happens. It's like how you do your board. You just see it the way you see it. You have the conviction, and it's like the NCAA bracket, folks. You pick a 13 seed, you pick a 4. Sometimes it hits, but it feels good when it does. And they got Nick Amanwari in the second round. They got Elijah Arroyo. They had a draft at the Dolphins. You could switch on out, and people could be like, "Oh, well, okay, not bad." But I liked what they did. I'll be watching them this year.
Yeah, Zabel, Amanwari, Arroyo. I love Milroe as a developmental guy. Riley Mills, I know is the guy you talked about. I think he was in your mock draft on Fins TV, right? Riley Mills, if I'm not mistaken.
I had him in a mock or two. Yeah, he dropped down a little bit because of injury.
Yeah, Torrey Horton. I didn't even realize they got him.
There you go.
Robbie Alex is a physical tight end. Put up some bench press numbers from Alabama. So, yeah, I agree. Sammy, do you have a draft or you don't?
Yes, yesterday I said that I like the Seahawks. I like the Raiders, but I have
The
bad
Raiders?
news. I have bad news for you people. The Jets are having a solid draft.
Let's look at it. How about this? Let's go around our division.
Yeah, that's a good idea. But
start with the Jets.
with the
Boy,
Jets.
they did have a really good draft. They took a bunch. They took a couple Miami kids at the end of the, and his brother, Moago's brother, is a left tackle, could be a top 10 pick next year for Miami. So yeah, they took
lots of ACC and the Jets travels.
So they stayed. The Jets love University of Miami players, by the way. Oh, Riley Leonard picked to the Colts. Okay, Riley Leonard.
Oh, yeah, that makes sense.
At this point, you
same state,
at this point, you go undrafted free agency at quarterback because based on what Greer said, and also based on Zach Wilson's sort of a developmental guy already. I mean, he's the same age as Tyler Shuck. You know what I mean? So like he's basically also a developmental guy. But all right, taking a look at the Jets draft: Membo, Taylor, Azare Thomas. Love those first three picks. They went speed receiver with Smith out of Georgia. They went safety Malachi Moore, and they went to the two Miami kids. Really good draft for them.
Yes,
really good draft. Let's go New England's Patriots. Patriots looks like they might have had a solid draft here. Let's see. Will Campbell, good pick. Trevion Henderson, another good player. He was a second Ohio State running back that went. Kyle Williams, a receiver that the Dolphins were into. Very New England type receiver. Jared Wilson. I love these next four picks.
I wish 95 is great value.
Jared Wilson was probably like in my 60s. He is a tremendous athlete at that position. Could play center, could play guard. Would have been a perfect fit in the outside zone, but I'm surprised he lasted that long. Then they took Craig Woodson. He was a sleeper safety prospect for me. I was a big fan of Craig Woodson. And then Joshua Farmer. You could talk about this, Jason. He was one of your targets on top of day 4. Absolute highway robbery here for the Giant.
Could be a really good
Patriots.
pass rusher, athletic, really good interior presence. I really would have loved from Florida kid, hometown, Florida State. Not, South Florida, I think Central Florida maybe, but really a good developmental pass rusher from the interior.
Yes. So they had a good draft as well. Who are we missing here? The
Buffalo, and they went defense heavy.
The Buffalo Bills, the dreaded Bills, the Bills. Okay, Harrison, TJ Sanders, Landon Jackson, Deion Walker, Jordan Hancock, Hawes, and Strong. Solid draft for them. Sanders, I was surprised, went over some of the other defensive tackles that were available, but really good player. Landon Jackson, a long, strong edge rusher who can play the run. Deion Walker, we know the story on him. Upside pick, 6'7", 331 out of Kentucky. Ton of ability. Jordan Hancock's a good little corner. I don't mean little in size, but he's 6'1", 195, but he's a good corner who's lined up, not only a corner, plays some free safety, can play slot. Jackson Hawes. Day 1, tight end 2 for them. Guy's the best blocking tight end in the draft. Guy who I thought the Dolphins should have targeted. And Dorian Strong, to get him at this point in the draft, I thought was a steal. So, yeah, they did good. Let's recap. Let's look at the Dolphins pick in this. So here's the Dolphins pick as we speak. We got 2 more picks. Kenneth Grant, Savanea, Jordan Phillips, Jason Marshall Jr., Dante Trader Jr., Ollie Gordon. When you look at that, Jason or Sammy, you kind of look at it like this on list view. What do you feel when you see that?
Go ahead, Sammy.
Well, again, you mean about the Dolphins draft, right?
Yeah.
I started the draft saying that the Dolphins went for physicality, and you just see those graphic activity that they try to be more aggressive. Of course, Kenneth Grant, mixed feelings around the Ponders midfield and the Dolphins nation, but the more the day after happened, I like the pick. I think they find a way to get a good nose tackle who gives opportunities for others to roam around. So they did well right there. Savanea is your guy. A guy who's so big and has been so athletic. So basically, they find a way to get more physical in the end zone with Savanea. I think that's a good story. Jordan Phillips, I think, is going to give post-traumatic syndrome disorder to Omar Kelly, because the last time you had a Jordan Phillips, that didn't go too well for him. So it's going to be interesting what happens now. But again, another defensive tackle that Jordan Phillips, a guy who's been somewhat talked about not reaching his potential. We'll see what happens. And again, running back, that kind of running back is a goal line running back, and the safety, and they needed bodies in the secondary. So with Marshall and Trader, that's the goal. You need bodies over there. And we'll see. You can say Chris Weir has seen better picking defensive backs later in the rounds than other than Xavier Howard and Devon Holland. The picks of the undrafted defensive back for him have been better. So we have to wait and see.
Yeah, I'm liking the Ollie Gordon pick the more I think about it. I mean, it's a 6th-round pick. Let's keep that in mind here.
He had a down season, but we go to his stats.
Yeah, let's not forget he went in the 6th round. You know what I'm saying? So this is where I had him about here. Okay, so I'm liking the kind of I like themes, right? When I do Christmas shopping, I like to do themes. Like I buy you this, I want to buy the accessories for it. This is kind of what we did. We got the accessories for the main gift. Okay. And that's we built the trenches up. Now we got the accessories. We got the power back. It's the one thing we've needed, and there wasn't many left. There was a deep running back group, but we took them in the 6th round. So the more I like, the more I think about it, I like the pick even more. You mentioned Ollie Gordon. Whose guy did you say was Ollie Gordon? Sammy, was somebody on your channel?
Yeah, no, it was someone I looked for him, so I got it.
Oh, okay.
when the Dolphins a couple of years ago went to Chris Brooks, they were looking for that kind of back, and you can see that the Dolphins didn't find a niche for him because Jeff Wilson took so many of the carries on the short yard situation. You can remember that game against the Cowboys a couple of years ago. We took over on short yards in the power running game. It was huge. So Chris will move away and he find a way to have other opportunities. But the Dolphins have been looking for a goal line back for a while now. So they didn't have that on the roster other than Madison. Madison's career has been, steadily going downwards instead of upwards. So to get a young back who has probably 3 years on a contract over Madison that was a non-guaranteed 1-year deal, I think it's a great move for them.
Let's take a look at a highlight here.
Rangel has an open man in the flat. Ollie, where's your blitz beater? Everybody's inside. You get Jack Kelly with his Gordon.
That's a 65-yard run.
Yep.
Gordon. There's the All-American. Touchdown.
2 tight ends to the left. They're going to be set up as blockers as they swing it to Gordon, running through arm tacklers.
Accuracy and get him back in the groove of things. Heavy stack on the right side, and Gordon has room to run. He hasn't seen this much.
He was faster than
blitz. Rangel has an
so when
he
gets the build-up speed, you know what I mean? That's the one thing of him.
Everybody's inside. You get
the snowball effect.
Yeah.
Gordon.
He gets better when they run.
Yeah, so he
again, he didn't have a good season this year, but the year before he was huge.
Yeah, the thing with him is I got to get the sound effect. You're right about that. We got to work on that. That'll be the first thing you help me with.
Listen, today's day with AI, you can do everything. So just.
Oh, what's up, Cap? Shout out, Cap. Yeah, we're having fun here, Cap.
I love Cap.
I decided to keep going. I held these boys hostage, so
I'm here, man. I might need to make a quick turkey sandwich though, or something.
Hey, eat it on air, man. Eat it on air. This is what day 3 is about right here.
All right? We're gonna go like ESPN. What's your favorite sandwich?
Well, I mean, we can go on a whole other show with that, but we're not going to bore the viewers with that. This is draft talk here.
So shout out to Cap. Is a draft over? Cap for life? No, man. We're still. What are we at? We're at pick. I don't even know. That's Jason's job. He's a draft tractor here. I'm sure Jason's probably writing an article as we speak.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm multitasking. The Jaguars.
No. He doesn't.
Yeah, that's why I see looking down when I start to speak.
I'm sorry.
I know it's working.
Dude, I don't know how he does it. You know what I mean? And he puts out an article. The guy's a beast. That's why I have him on the on season. And guess what? I'm hoping Jason accepts an offer and we do something past the on season. we'll be talking. We'll leave the cliffhanger there, Jason.
This is too much fun to not do more of it, my dude.
When we get everybody who comes on tells us, "Oh, you guys are great
listen,
together."
both of you fellas,
Yeah.
you know, let's just leave it at that. That I owe you both a lot of
Yes,
gratitude.
Sammy, you know, you always got a seat here.
Anytime you want. Really
Thank
good
you, my
people.
brother.
I mean that wholeheartedly.
Please don't take away Jason on my Tuesdays. That's all.
No. Jason is in this. It's in his contract. Tuesdays is with the Fins TV.
Oh,
all right.
Wait, I have a contract?
No.
Where's his contract?
Verbal contract. Oh, you didn't know?
No.
You guys
Oh
are too kind.
man.
You guys are way too kind.
This is what I remember about the draft. You know, this is my first year ever doing live streaming, and really, you know, you think, oh, how many views am I get? You know what I realized? It doesn't matter. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter because the memories you create on here is funny, man. Like the first two nights, you know,
it's a live watch along.
Yeah.
It's a watch along. It's a draft watch along. By now we're past the Dolphins talk.
Yeah. Shout out. We have 250 people over in the room. Thank you guys. There's plenty of places to watch the draft. I don't know why you're watching anywhere else with us, but it's Fins TV, Fin Sammy, it's Jason Sarney and myself. We're here. We're in it. We're in it till the end. We should create Sammy. We need to create our own version of Stump the Truck. You know what I mean?
Do you know what you need to do? You need to go to your page and put a poll. I would like to know what the people who are watching right now on our platform think about the Dolphins draft, because I would like for them to give you a grade on the Dolphins draft, because I think we're gonna get some mixed reactions on the grades probably.
It's a good idea.
Listen, you're gonna get people who are upset that they got out of the third, out of the fourth. They didn't necessarily go get, and they did pass on talent, you know.
They did.
For what they needed to do, for where they are now economically, structurally, this isn't bad. This wasn't a bad coming to fruition of a plan or a mindset that they probably they kind of knew what they were doing.
And they got two starters. They do got two what-if starters. They got two starters, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it's what I told you. I think when they traded back, they had this corner in mind. They knew, okay, this is the corner we want. We think we're pretty sure he's going to be available. So let's just trade back, right? Let's trade back and see if we can get him there. They kind of felt comfortable he would be there. So that's why I don't think they had a problem. And what did they do? They picked up an extra third-round pick next year. Again, like Sammy said, if we take that and we plug that in and fill the hole at corner, we trade that pick for somebody, and it might not be a player we even know about right now.
That's basically what Rich realized to do. He knows he's gonna need asset for something. He started accumulating them. So I would not be shocked if that happens. And again, if you're gonna trade Ramsey, probably it's not gonna be anytime soon. So you gonna need to find a way for a team to entice them into taking Ramsey's contract. We need something back, probably a player and a pick. We might give them Ramsey and a third and get a fourth and some kind of trade like that. So I would not be shocked.
Yeah.
I want to ask you guys that the quarterback from Texas, the Dolphins were connected to him during the draft process. I think he's still available, right?
Yeah.
That might be one of those 7th round picks, because there was like a week or so in March that everybody's talking about how the Dolphins were investing in him. So we might have
to saying Ian Rappaport is talking about Ramsey. Give us a brief recap. There's been talk with the Rams. So give us if anything pops up, or if anything he says anything is close or anything.
You guys will say, why would the Rams take Ramsey back? You're crazy. The Dolphins will never trade. That report was right. Again, the Dolphins are trying to do what the Rams did a couple of years ago. They for everything. They could not achieve it. Then they won a Super Bowl, but then they could not achieve it again. They find a way to rebuild, move away some assets, did some hits on the draft, and now they're in contention again. So the Dolphins are hoping for it again, do this 2-year soft rebuild, and probably next year might find a way to invest in some of the players. So we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I mean, that's interesting. It looks like, why do you don't think he was traded through this draft? Is it the money, or is it that nobody was given anything they wanted for him?
I think that's a June one.
Yeah, maybe we get a player for him.
And that's what I'm saying. It will make sense for the Dolphins to trade Ramsey and a third for a player and a 5th-round pick or something. A young player who is not as costly for the Dolphins to have it. So Chris Weir is never afraid to pull the triggers, and he's never afraid to do something interesting when he does a trade. So, and Chris Weir usually wins his trades because you can say a lot about his drafting and everything, but as far as giving contracts and numbers, not aside from Tyreek Hill and Ramsey's extension, usually Chris Weir wins on his contracts and wins on his trade. So it probably could be someone.
Let's give a little fan some Jordan Phillip juice here. Let me play that. Well, he's strong, man. Look at that. Look at that. Look, you can just see the strength, how he holds anchor with that shoulder. Man, he's strong. His hands are powerful. Only 20 years old, Sammy and Jason.
Yeah, that Chris Weir loves them young. That sounds wrong, but it's true. He likes young players. He like players who had yet not peaked on the. He did it with Austin Jackson. He done so many times before, and from my experience, and again, you're the draft guys, but from my experience, defensive tackles takes longer to develop. When the Dolphins usually draft a defensive tackle, that first year is not it. Half the second, probably the second, not. And that third year, you can see them starting to develop. So it also even happened with Christian Wilkins. By mid-season of the second year, a lot of fans go calling Wilkins a bust. Most of them would not admit it, but you can look everywhere they say he was a bust. And he bloomed, and he was the highest paid defensive tackle of the game for a while. So
let's do a little Dante Trader Jr. Let's give the Dolphin fans something to feel good about here. Where are we at?
I'm gonna have to see if I can find some draft music or something. I can play the background when you do those highlights over here.
Don't do that again, please.
Yeah, here's 3rd down and almost 8. Calandria across the back. That's intercepted. And that's picked up by Dante Trader. And he'll be brought down in Virginia territory.
Being cast in a role that causes him to change from week to week.
Gives it to Monangai, tripped up right away.
He's ticketed for the NFL at some point. His tackle brings up 2nd down, and Eversford's pass is knocked out of there.
Passing Case Keenum for the all-time touchdown mark tonight. Lamar. Wrapped up by the ankles. Another nice tackle by Dante Trader.
He plays all over the place. He's small.
How do they know?
His tape is good, man. He just doesn't test well.
1st down play, middle of the field, never a catch. He fumbled the ball. It's ruled incomplete.
The right state. I don't think Derek's here today. Here's Peterson.
He plays at the line of scrimmage in the slot.
Again, physicality.
Look under his TV.
For a small guy. He's a small guy.
He's physical.
But he plays everything. Robber, safety.
I like his ability up in the box. That
It's like not as fast as Billy Bowman Jr. He's not as fast, but he plays like that and he's small. You know what I mean?
Historically great Oregon Ducks football team in a dogfight with the Maryland Terrapins. 3rd down and 5. Gabriel flushed out. Gabriel, end zone, incomplete.
I can see why I told you the tape is good. I know why they like him.
For Villanova.
I'm going to take a minute. We'll be right back.
Late Ragland. Kenyon Miles caught it. And a block on the edge by Jalen Sanchez.
You know what? He was a big-time lacrosse player in high school, Jason.
Reverse.
Highly recruited.
Christian Hoskins with a rare touch. And that's going nowhere.
You're on mute.
3rd and 11.
Oh, sorry. I love cross-sport players.
Gabriel
I do
going to
too.
run it.
Especially in baseball, too.
Gabriel sandwiched right around the 40-yard line.
A young QB throwing
Looking
a
at
young
Dante
receiver
Trader
trying to
Jr.
lead a
guys,
game-winning
clips of him.
It is Childs again brought down. This
Good
time
against
as
the
they
rush.
utilize his
Really
legs.
wrap up tackle well.
Antoine
Sound
Raymond in
tackler.
the running back on 2nd down 9, and the throw is picked off. And did he hang on? He could not as he went to.
He's all over the place, man.
And we're back.
It's what I said. He's all over the place. You know, he plays. He could play. I could see him playing in Anthony Weaver's defense. I could see him playing free safety. I could see him playing some slot. I can see him as a blitzer. You know, he's competitive. He fits. Like, we didn't get a lot of injured guys, right? We got a lot of guys who are durable, team captains, love football. This is a Chris Greer draft. I mean, the more I watch these guys, I need to take a bathroom break. Jason or Finn, Sammy, take the lead here. Do whatever you want. The viewers should go up.
I'm gonna interview Jason because that's easy for me. So while you take a bathroom break, I'm gonna interview Jason for a minute.
Okay,
Sammy
go ahead.
Do your thing, George. But Sammy, yeah, man, I really do love the team. Let's talk about the theme, the culture shift here. That's what I think this draft screams. Gonna build the trenches. We're gonna get a power runner. We're gonna add to that speed with a little bit of power overall from the offense. What are your overall thoughts, just foundationally and culturally?
Again, I will get said that the physicality of the team changed a little bit in this draft, and during the free agency period also, you can see the Dolphins trying to move away from that soft label, that finesse label. Again, it worked for a while. We had a great season a couple of years ago. That 70-point game against Denver will always be one of the greatest memories as a Dolphins fan ever for me. But that's not sustainable because when teams catch up, they find a way to stop it, and you need to run the ball. You need to be consistent in the end zone. And the Dolphins probably had a lot of physical teams in the AFC that could not even match their physicality. So it works when we're a finesse team while you're ahead, but Mike McDaniel sometimes so many times failed making these necessary adjustments to not be as a finesse team. So they'll find a way to solidify the trenches. Of course, if you ask me, we had a much better defensive line a couple of years ago. We didn't do as much as we needed with them, but in golden situations, I think that they found a way with Grant to get better as a team. The offensive line again, they as long as they stay healthy, we're gonna have an offensive line that probably finds a way to run the ball. Patrick Pauls remains to be seen how good he can become as a pass blocker, and then as a run blocker. But again, the physicality of the team needed to change, and I think the Dolphins making some moves for that to change in those seasons. In that case, I'm actually very happy with it. We have what I'm afraid, Jason, is that I always say if you keep accumulating ifs, if this, if that happened, this player doesn't get hurt, or this player develops quickly, and you keep adding ifs, the chance of you having a successful season go down so much. So they'll always find a way to quiet a bit so those ifs, but it remains to be seen if we got hits on this draft. What are your thoughts, Jason?
I just, the draft, the only thing I wish they would have done a little bit more was maybe go up and try to get some talent that was lingering. But I just get it from an economic standpoint that this was kind of like let's wipe the table clean. Let's trade back a little bit. Let's get our two guys that we love. And I think the two guys up top, Kenneth Grant and Jordan 7A, are almost like no-brainer. They're going to help. They are going to be good pros. You could just kind of know that. And then the rest of the way, I like the fact that there'll be competition in the defensive backfield, both at safety and at cornerback, because I don't think anything is written in stone for either of those areas in the secondary, which is a little scary to think. I mean, right now you're looking at competition between Cam Smith, Storm Duck, and Jason Marshall Jr., along with, you got Ethan Bonner in there. There's going to be competition for your two boundaries, assuming Jalen Ramsey is done in Miami. And then from the safety group, last year was horribly poor. And then you say goodbye to the poor production from Jordan Poyer and Javon Holland. And you bring in Jags, not Jaguars, Jags, just a guy in Melifanu and Ashton Davis. You have Elijah Campbell, as said. You have Patrick McMorris, but no one is out there raising their hand saying, I'm the safety in this room. Same thing with the cornerbacks 1 and 2. You know who your slot corner, your nickel guy is with Kader Kohu, but going into camp, I can't wait to watch competition in the secondary, because you're going to need to find two corners, two safeties who come up and say, this is my area of the field. Right now, you only know Kader Kohu, surefire. Because the Dolphins can take that third rounder in the trade that they acquired in one of the deals from the Texans And they can go out and they can trade for a corner that's disgruntled on another team. They can handle business elsewhere and bring in another corner. So there's nothing guaranteed at that position. So I like the competition aspect. And I like Ollie Gordon as a power back. So I'm happy. Right now, we're at a B+. The plus is for power. I moved it up from a B.
If you look at the remainder free agents, there's only one guy. Of course, you said that they've been talking with guys who were there in the market, Hernandez and another and some other. Sorry, I forgot. Brandon Sheriff, I think it was the other guard. But the guy who I believe that's out there that might hit the Dolphins right now, taking into consideration Anthony Weaver, will be Justin Simmons. I know he's in early 30s, 31 or 32. But safety is such a key part of of Anthony Weaver's defense. So a guy like that who probably thinks is worth more than the Dolphins are willing to pay. I think that's an interesting free agent available for them. What do you think, Jason? You put a Steve.
Nope.
There you
go. Oh.
Hey, sorry. My mic wasn't. Repeat the question.
You pull a Steve. You pull a Hallett.
That's not.
I pulled the Hallett. That's your second reference to Hallett in 2 days.
Sammy, at least his power didn't go out. You know.
What was that thing?
Oh no! Yeah, go ahead.
At least his power didn't went out. But poor Richmond was.
Yeah, no, Richmond's the best. Go ahead, you guys.
Richmond
You're doing a great job, Sammy.
Yeah, the best, absolutely.
Yeah, Sammy, hit me with that question once again. My mistake.
Justin Simmons. I think that if you were to look for an available free agent who's out there, Justin Simmons would probably think is worth more than the Dolphins are willing to pay. As a safety, it's so important for Anthony Weaver's defense. Justin Simmons is the guy that sticks out to me because we said that we're talking to free agents that they were not done. So that's the only guy I think that's out there right now that will probably help the Dolphins a lot.
You maybe look at a couple of guys like that who you can maybe make a deal for, but I think that it's a little rich for the Dolphins.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Ashanti Samuel Jr. maybe, or Yari Alexander if you're looking to add to the defensive backfield. But look for post-draft for a couple of things to happen. The scrap heap is coming too with post-June 1st cut, so you never know what happens.
One of the things I think we might have to be on the lookout for is a Zach Sealer contract extension, because if the Dolphins are in Ramsey, they're gonna need cap space. So to do an extension, another 3-year extension for Zach Sealer would probably open a lot of capital for the Dolphins, because I'm pretty sure they're not touching Tua's contract. They have not done it by now. They're not touching Tua's contract, and I'm pretty sure you are against that. I think I heard you say that once. That you are against the Dolphins touching Tua's contract. So Zach Sealer extension probably will work a lot for the Dolphins.
Yeah.
You got to keep Zach Sealer home forever. I don't care what it takes.
Oh, look, they got to. I said it. Zach Sealer's future's not set in stone past the next year or two. So you might have 2 young defensive tackles to take over. You know, we drafted 2 today. I really like Jordan. Jordan Phillips should have probably went a little higher than we took him. So, I just want to mention. Looks Jason, the Boise State end went. You're muted.
I saw that earlier. Yeah, he's a good prospect, a little raw. You know, he doesn't have a ton of experience, you know, but I think he could be a good little player.
Oh, Taj Brooks.
Ahmed Hassani from Boise State.
Yeah, did I see the quarterback from Florida go? The Dolphins are really high on him. Graham Mertz? Yeah, they liked him a lot. Yeah. He was the guy who was getting a lot of love towards the end of the process here. Yeah, let me look caught up here. Yeah, Graham. Yeah.
Raymond Lane III out of Navy, the Admiral.
The Admiral.
He was going to be on if he dropped to an undrafted free agent. I was hoping for, but they take him at pick 200.
Vikings got back-to-back picks here. Oh, the guy I talked to, Miles Hinton. He's humongous. Man, who took him? Who took him? Of course, the Eagles took him. Yeah.
Unbelievable.
It's good that the guys you like, the Ravens and the Eagles, take, but like it sucks because they keep getting guys you think have the potential to turn out to be really good players. I'm looking
Every
for
single draft, there's a team that usually takes the guys you want. And usually it's the Ravens for the Dolphins. This year, you say the Eagles would be the one. And the Jets.
I'm looking, trying to get some Jason Marshall Jr. highlights here. A quick little highlight package. So
While you look,
go ahead.
Matt, I'm reading Matt Canada's tweet about grading the Dolphins pick in today's draft. Jordan Phillips, a defensive tackle, he gave a C+ grade. Jason Marshall, the cornerback, he gave a D grade. Dante Trader Jr., the safety, he gave a D grade. And Ollie Gordon, the second running back, he gave a C grade. So Canada amended his statement of hating the Dolphins pick because he said that he believed that the Dolphins should get more assets instead of drafting Grant. But on this side, I don't think he means that because of philosophy. I think that he didn't like the players very much.
All right, who's that? Who graded it? You saying you
Matt Canada.
Oh, Matt Canada. Okay. Yeah, he hasn't been liking the Dolphins pick. He hasn't been a big fan of the Dolphins pick here at all.
Now, the thing with like lower rating of Grant, I think is because I think everyone loves stats, and I love stats, but I also love stats that are beyond the normal statistics. Like I don't care about sacks from an interior defensive tackle next to or on the same line as Sealer as much as I care about the pressure that he can bring and help others eat. Like Sealer and Grant combined will help the edges, will help the linebackers. Grant will help pick up a stunt and let Sealer attack, or Sealer will help absorb a double team and then Grant could attack. You know what I'm saying? So this is a pick that helps the entire unit, the entire defense, the entire team. And it's the same thing on the flip side of the offensive line. So, I can understand that there's disappointment and there's lower grades if you're looking at the fact that they traded out the third, they traded out the fourth, they passed on talent. I get that. But this is not for a 2025 championship run, folks. If everyone knows that going in, I think that's the better. And I'm going in knowing that. Like this is all right, this is a draft that let's see what we can do. Let's reset. Hopefully we land on our feet in some way, shape, or form. 2026 is where we're going to be able to make a little bit more noise with immediate help players. A couple of players are going to come off the books, So expectation, but this is a good foundation.
I think where people get upset about it is they wish it would have came earlier, right? Like they're not admitting we're not rebuilding, we're not resetting, and we're doing it again with the same regime. I think that's where it comes in. Again, I agree with you. We know if fans who are smart enough to know this is a reset, soft reset, hard reset, whatever you want to call it, right? It's what it is. They're not admitting it, and B, why are you giving Chris Greer the chance to do that, right? But like you said, Jason, this could be he could be setting up the Champ Kelly and the Marvin Allen to have a nice, you know what I mean? And him move up to the higher role where he's his strength. He's a connector. He's a hub guy, right? You know what I mean? He's Bam Adebayo. You know what I mean? He's not. You get a guy. Now you put him in a position and you say Marvin Allen or Champ Kelly, the draft's yours. I'll oversee it. But I'll give you guys final say. And, for me, I don't care if Greer's in the building. I just didn't want him to ultimately make the calls. But I will say this, I wish he would have done this again in 20 and 21, Sammy, right? Like, this is the problem. They're doing it backwards. Everything is, ass backwards here, right? The way they built the team, they went from young team to F the picks to the Rams to then back to young to then old. And now we're going back to young, no plan, no leadership.
And I think that what happened was that they went to Tua and said, why Tua is not working in the NFL like he used to work in Alabama? And let's look. They get him a coach like Mike McDaniel, who's a fitness coach, who's a timing coach, a passing timing coach, and say, what does Tua Tagovailoa needs? And they could have protected him in more time, but they prefer no. Let's give him the best weapons we can. They gave it Jalen Waddle. They gave it Tyreek Hill and said, we're gonna give you two super wide receivers that like you had in Alabama and make it work. But if Tua doesn't get the time to be in the pocket and be comfortable, he needs to throw that ball so quickly. The offense teams are going to catch up to you. And that's what happened. The Dolphins had a chance to take Penei Sewell in that draft, and they traded back, and they they did so many things that mind-boggling to me. Because again, I do believe the trenches should be first always. So I like Jalen Water today, but if you ask me, that was a mistake.
Yeah, you would have. Yeah, they had a great. That 2020 draft was a unbelievable draft. The thing is, we had picks in some great drafts, man. You know, that's why I go with the back. I told you guys the Mel Kiper line that he quoted. It's not who you pick, it's when you pick the player. Maximizing the draft value spots. They had some good hits. They hit some doubles, but there was home runs they left on the board, right? Home runs.
Yes.
Gold jacket players. So you might do it. Yeah, I mean, I think Chase is a gold jacket. Sewell's going to be a gold jacket player. That's what I'm referring to.
So that's right. They meant yes. No, this.
Yeah.
Right, my bad.
So I'm referring to that year. While Jalen Waddle's a nice player, while Jalen Phillips a nice player, like I love Jalen Phillips, but how many Pro Bowls has he made? Somebody remind me on that. And he's been injured. So like we tend to evaluate players in a vacuum locally. That's what on our own team. When we don't realize guys on other teams are better than Jalen Phillips, but we haven't seen anything like Jalen Phillips in a while, so we tend to overvalue them. I love Jalen Phillips. He's a warrior, a great kid. This is nothing against him. It's my point is, yeah.
Basically, that's true. And again, when Micah Parsons, another player who was available for the Dolphins, and they find a way to overlook it. So
yeah. That and then when you're saying, okay, we're going all in on the draft here, you have to hit a home run in your rebuild. Like here's the difference of what one team does, like what Detroit does versus what the Cleveland Browns did many years ago. You remember that when they had all those picks and they screwed it up? Like you got your shot here. You have a blank canvas. And Greer didn't do horrible. Greer's not a horrible GM, guys. No. He's not. No. He's a middle of the road guy. And what are you getting? A middle of the road team. That's what he knows how to build. Like
it's not only the players, it's the way they build the team. Yes. Because the construction of the team is a failure. And that's why you have to ask the question, did the rebuild fail? I think we're 5 years past the start of the rebuild. I think we can I'll say that the rebuild was a failure. But not because of the players with the Dolphins pick, because they got some really good players in most cases, but the way the team was constructed, for me, it was a failure.
Yeah. At least we're in the 200s now, guys. We're on the way home here. We're in the 200s. So hopefully I think it'll start flying, right, Jason? The picture.
I use the analogy that when we got to like the late third or something, I was like, all right, if I'm driving to Florida from my home right now, I just entered Georgia. Right now, we just entered Jacksonville if I'm going to Miami. We're not there yet.
We're a little closer.
We're a little closer.
I'm saying more. Are we in Orlando? You know what I mean? We're in between.
We might be going through that, yeah. It's the fun time where I see, all right, Orlando. It's like we're closing in. We're keep on going.
I know you were like, oh, should we end it? I'm like, let's just go do it. Let's just run through it. Remember, we're not going to do this for another year.
Turkey sandwich right now.
Did you make one? Go make one. You
got
to go make
one. Not yet, but
what did you end up cooking?
Give me a minute. I want to see what happens the next week.
Hey, what did you end up cooking?
If I may, let me give you some content over here. Let's go. We talk about the grades from Canada. Let's go to Walter football grades on the Dolphins, if I may. If you allow me, George.
Yeah.
Hey, you go ahead, man.
I'm looking for content over here. So, Jordan they gave the pick of Jordan Phillips a B plus grade. Was Walter football. That's a very nice grade for the Dolphins over there. At 150, Jason Marshall, they give a B plus grade. That's 2 B plus. That's so different from Canada. And on Dante Trader, they gave him a C minus grade. So 2 B pluses and a C. So again, you're gonna get so many conflicting reports. It's all about opinion. At the end of the day, it's how those players fit on the Dolphins. If the Dolphins plan to use those kind of players in the later rounds as substitutions, and a guy who this part of the game comes because he knows how to play. The Jeff Wilson effect, like I used to call him. A guy who plays as he's not a great coverage guy, but he's going to blitz the quarterback. He's going to get that sack. So again, those picks are all you need is to be great at one part of the game, and everything. If they're pretty good enough in special teams, they're going to do the job.
Oh, Chase Lunt just went to Buffalo. A big tackle. Jason. Yeah. So Cap says he's content so far. Cap, what do you have for? I know you have some questions for us, man. What do you like about the draft? Caps, shout out to the 260 people watching. You're still with us.
Appreciate y'all.
Appreciate you all. Make sure you guys hit that like button, subscribe to us. Also, when you're done here, make sure you go check out Fins TV, subscribe to those guys. And we'll be on Fins TV on Tuesday. Me and Jason, I'm taking a break on Monday. There's no show on Monday, but Thursday. Should I take a break, guys, on Monday? I should, right? This has been.
I want you fresh for Tuesday, so take a break.
Thursday, we're gonna do a big recap.
You earned it. I'm not telling you how to do it, but you earned it.
I appreciate it, Jason. So did you, man. We've been side by side.
Sure. You both do, yes.
Yeah. So Thursday we're gonna do a huge recap. We're gonna try to work on to get some guests. Maybe we'll get a draft analyst, or we'll get something. We're gonna try to do something. We'll include the UDFA guys. We're gonna do a big recap show on Thursday. So you guys make sure to set the notification when we put that show out and tune in. And then tune in on Tuesday when we're on Fins TV. Kobe King just went. Yeah, but thank everybody who's tuning in here, man. Again, there's so many shows that are going live, and we appreciate the whole weekend. We had over 1,300 on Thursday watching, almost 1,000 yesterday. This morning we had 400 or 500 when me and Jason just went on for an hour. And now at the end of the draft, we got over 260. So truly appreciate it. Thank you, tremendous guys that I've had on.
Yeah, but you at this point, anyone who's watching us and all platforms are hardcore Dolphins fans, because to stay on a beautiful Saturday afternoon over here like us, joining watching for the Dolphins to make 2 picks in the 7th round, those are the hardcore.
Yeah, and I appreciate everybody. I know I gave when Jason was like, what I love about Jason is like, he's like, you know what, I'm going to tweet about your board, George. I was really impressed. And not everybody does that. Not everybody. Let me tell you something. The reason why I think me and Jason get along and you is we're not afraid to let everybody else. We're happy for other people to do something good or right, and it comes back to you. And it's no coincidence that we get guests on this show. It's because of that. I treat people the way I want to be treated. I think building relationship is important. It's the key to everything. It's the key to longevity. So I thank everybody, because this success on the show this week was mainly, it's not me. It was mainly Bobby Shaws for the Dive Bar podcast coming on. Finn Sammy, you coming on. Jason Sarney. No, he didn't want to come on. Jason didn't want to come on. Look at me. I just saw
Cameron Williams. Cameron Williams just goes to the Eagles, and it's like, Howie, you're killing me.
I got to clip that, Sammy. I got to clip that Jason moment.
You need to start making stories.
Dude, Jason, that was worse. You had a bigger reaction than that to Kyle McCord.
No,
I'm disappointed in you, man. I'm disappointed.
It's like a fun.
No, yeah.
If I'm going to be annoyed by someone picking a guy that I like, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the particular one.
Yeah. But to my point I was making before, I was so rudely interrupted by Jason Sarney's anger of Cameron Williams. I'm waiting for Sammy to get disappointed in somebody. Make one up, Sammy. Make one up.
Listen, I lower my expectations so much. The reason is, it's hard for me to be disappointed by now again.
Yeah.
So, as a Dolphins fan, it used to hurt so much to be disappointed. So, when the Dolphins lose on Sunday, when I was 25, 27, 28 years old, probably in my 30s, that lingered all the way to Wednesday. I was so defeated, and the Dolphins lose, and every single game meant so much. I love the Dolphins, still hurts, but you need to find a way to get past by it, because if not, you're not gonna live better long, because they tend to break your heart.
Yeah, man. And look, we won't know truly the answer to this draft for people say 3 years. No, you'll know somewhat in the first year. People say you'll know a lot in the first year.
I disagree with that. I believe we're gonna know pretty soon, because the Dolphins
I agree.
It's gonna be tested really, really soon. And but as soon as someone gets hurt, I'm not saying they're gonna be stars. I don't say it's gonna be stars, but they need to come in and save the day on a couple of plays and hold the fort for us. Yeah, I think we're gonna know pretty soon about this draft of the Dolphins. The Dolphins tend to get hurt a lot in recent years. It's a very fragile team, so we're gonna know a lot about this team probably early in the season, because Dolphins find a way to get hurt on every single position.
Who took the Eagles? Took Cameron Williams. Wow, they do it again. Good job, Kyle. Shout out to Kyle Pritz. My brother Will has been in the chat the whole weekend, giving great comments. My youngest brother TJ's been in the comments. Everybody in the Oscar, everybody, Cap, Adrian, TJ, DSG, Scotty. I mean, the list goes on. I have to keep going up. We've been so long. All of them.
I'll tell you what. I cannot wait for Jesus Sarni's best available undrafted free agents list because
when is that? When is that coming out, Jason? I did the draft board. You got to do the UDFA board.
We need to keep talking so he works on that.
After the last, within an hour after Mr. Irrelevant, that I just got chills because I can't wait. I'm so excited. I have my number one. Undrafted.
You do?
I don't want to.
No,
you don't say it, dude.
He comes from a small school. He's a defensive back. I'm not letting people. No, I'm just kidding. I don't want to name anyone undrafted.
You hold on to it. Hold on to it.
You know what I'm saying? That's number one. I'm going to hold on to it. Let's see how I don't want to call someone undrafted before the draft is over.
Yeah, absolutely.
But once I have the list of 45 names are there, which will be dwindled.
I'm going to tell you, the Dolphins
It'll end
should
up
be
being
active
like
here.
10 names.
The Dolphins should be real active in this UDFA. I think they're gonna probably load up on the secondary, load up on the offensive line. I think you'll get a quarterback or two, depending if they like. I could see them taking Quinn Ewers in round 7. No, or if he's undrafted, I think definitely they'd go after him, right?
I think they might. I think they might.
Oh, Sammy's pounding the table. That's his comment.
They will bring in a quarterback or two.
Of course.
You know what I said. There was a week in March that every single article was about the Dolphins going to Texas and checking out. So
that's Sammy's. I hope that's your Kyle McCord, Sammy. That's your.
Not really. I'm not that
I'm rooting for you, Sammy. I want one of us to be happy.
Sammy, we got to give you somebody, man.
Oh man.
Yeah. Jimmy Horn Jr. getting drafted.
I need to find that list of best available kickers. Let me see.
I wonder if NFL Network started Stump the Truck.
Okay, yet. All right. I got to put 2 guys out there right now for the 7th round.
Okay. Is Clay Webb available?
I'm looking for. Say again?
Is Clay Webb still on the board?
Who?
Clay Webb.
Yeah.
I like him.
Okay. I got 2 linebackers. If y'all want to draft a linebacker,
here we go. I know where he's going.
Here we go. You know one of them.
You know,
if you want to see me, I haven't attempted a backflip in about 43 years, and I'm 44. But I would do a backflip if Sean Dolak from the University of Buffalo, SUNY Buffalo. Okay, so Sean Dolak, day 7. I would love for him to get picked by any. He's going to get picked by the Buffalo Bills in the 7th round, or if he doesn't happen to maybe get through, he could be just going down the road as an undrafted free agent. But I would love to draft him or Jay Higgins from Iowa from the linebacker position.
I don't want to see you get hurt, so I don't want that.
Those are my 2.
I don't want to see you try to do it back. I don't want to see you hurt.
I'm ready to be hurt again. I'm ready to be hurt again.
Yeah.
No, but that's physically
hurt again, everybody.
That's physically hurt. I don't want that.
The Bills have the 24th selection in the 7th. The Dolphins have the 37th. And the 15th. So the Bills could break a heart, but if you want Dolak, you go up and get him with that 15th pick in the 7th round for the Dolphins, 231. Sean Dolak. I'm putting it out there right now. That's my want right now. I gotta go get it. Okay. I'm nervous. Now I gotta eat a turkey sandwich. I'll be right back.
I'll get a turkey sandwich. And Sammy, so
I was looking at what's left. I took some shots about what the NFL Network is saying that is the best available guy. So let me see if I can something.
Yeah. I wanted to do the tweet that Barry Jackson had used updating the Jalen Ramsey stuff. I got to find that now.
Well, you look. Let me see. I can see someone to us. Seems better. Like I said, that quarterback from Texas is sticking up like a sore thumb, even for them. Let me see if I can see some of the guys that
I gotta use your idea and put that that poll up. You know, you said. So what do I need? Say I need draft music. I need transition when I'm
You need
transitioning.
not copyrightable background music, well, this kind of stuff. So that when you go to the screen share, you just have some background music. That would be nice.
That's where you that's your thing, huh? I mean,
that depends also on what your platform allows you to do.
Yeah.
Because I'm using a platform that allows me
What
to
do
do
you?
so
Well,
many
yeah,
things.
you have a different platform, huh?
Yeah, I use EVMux, and
Okay.
EVMux is this a kind of platform that it's like basically like a studio. Like it allows you to go through scenes. It allows you to add music. It even apps that can allows you to do the games and stuff. So I try to integrate that as much as possible because I try to make it as fun and entertaining as everything. So when you have a speaker, you can punch it's like punching cameras. You can go to Jason's camera, to your camera, to your guest camera. They can have a solo camera thing. So you have to. That's why I don't touch as much. I'm glad you allow me to talk on His Favorite Podcast because I don't touch too much of this.
Yeah, I know that.
Because I since I'm producing the show, I try to keep up with punching every single camera.
That's part of why I can't do something real heavy. It's because when I'm doing the main content and it's hard to do kind of all the other stuff with it. I do the graphics, the everything.
Yeah, EV must allow you to have a co-producer. My co-producer is Steve because over here where I live, if the power goes down, the show crashes. So Steve had the power to be the co-producer, and we talked so many times. If the power goes out, you need to do this and this and this to keep the show moving. So
yeah, that's why the Richmond Web show, that one we transitioned well, right? It was good. I'm glad that happened as I was more experienced, right? I was 4, 5, 6, 7 months into doing this. If that happened on one of your first couple of shows, you'd be like,
no, and still it's burden sometimes. When like I said, when you're doing so many times, so many things that producing the show and pushing camera, text and everything. When you make a mistake, you take more risks doing that. So you make a mistake, you don't feel good about it. But that's that. You did a great show when Richmond went down. You kept talking. You were doing a solid show. But I said like. Let me see this. I know that feeling. So you were doing a great show, but let me see if it needs any help because
I would have probably went off. I would have probably stayed on for 10 more minutes and thank everybody who went off. But
again, you were doing a great job. You were holding the fort. But I know that feeling. I didn't want that for you to happen. So that's why I said
I appreciate
bro, you need help because
I think that kind of moment our friendship got stronger. I think in that moment.
Again, when you're a content creator, it's fun.
You appreciate it, yeah.
But you cannot appreciate that kind of thing because you don't want that to happen to anyone. So, and we know because you said it, and Richmond Pro felt so bad about that happening.
Oh, he did, yeah.
It happens. It can happen any single time. So, for you to power through to that, you were doing very very well. But
no, man.
Let me see.
When you do a specific show for like somebody like that, you have specific questions. It's not like you're doing a show talking about the draft and you can kind of like regroup. That's the most difficult part.
I'll tell myself that's why I don't do a show with only one co-host because if that happens, I'm done. So that's that. I'm fortunate to have Steve Haddad and Shari had and Mara Armstrong.
Oh, yeah.
And Eddie Chapman were a regular Fizz TV crew who alternate everybody. And of course, Jason is part of the crew. Very fanatic, so many guys. So you can count on them to.
Yeah.
Adrian Rainey, our friend Adrian Rainey for the Rainey Apostle. So you can count on them for them to come to the show and give so great insights. Podcasting has changed the landscape, if you allow me to say, because 5-6 years ago, I'm gonna tell you, the following expressions are by Finn Sammy, are not by George. But a couple of years ago, the media used to make so much fun of podcasters. They don't know what I'm talking about. They're not the pros. We're the pros. They laugh at the podcasting, and now they're finding a way to have podcasters on their doing collabs with podcasters because podcasting is hot and
yeah, man, it's because they're not getting as many views as podcasters, so they want to kind of get in the game. It's a great point you make. Shout out to Tyler in the chat. Yeah, he's talking about the Ravens. They got Aeneas Peebles, another great pick.
The Ravens are another team that having a very, very good. As always, they always have a great.
Let's look at the Ravens draft. Man, the rich get richer, huh? It's no reason. We
They
talked about.
always do that.
It's not who you pick. It's when you pick them. Maximizing the value.
Every single year,
they do
the
that.
Ravens are among the winners. I'm dumbfounded they have not won a Super Bowl.
I mean, look at these first 3 picks are tremendous. Teddy Buchanan is a underrated. Like this guy's going to play for the Ravens. He's going to be better than his slot he was drafted. Carson Vincent in the 5th round, big offensive tackle. Bilal Cohn was one of my sleeper guys. They took him. They took the wide receiver, small, deep speed receiver, LaJohntay Webster. And then Aeneas Peebles had no business going this far in the draft.
Ravens
really,
always.
He's undersized, but they'll make it work with him, right?
Again, that's what you want. At this part of the draft, you have guys who are undersized and do not have the best time, but they're great at one part of the game. If they can find a way to initiate special teams and they're great at one part of the game, they're gonna have a good 5-year, 6-year career in the NFL because they're good at one part of the game. So that's what. And if you are a good coach and you have your situational substitution, we know this part of the game, these guys are specialists. We're gonna put it to rush the quarterback or the goal line stand or protect the quarterback when that guy goes the starter goes down. That's all you need by this time of the draft. So the Ravens are probably the best in the NFL at that. They always find players that fill the mold.
Yeah. Again, they maximize the value of their slot. That's the key.
Absolutely.
That's the key. Sometimes it's not who you pick, it's who you don't pick. They maximize their slot value. I can't emphasize that enough. Man, I just looked. Restrepo still available. Damian Martinez. I'm surprised. It's a deep running back group, Sammy, but I'm surprised Damian Martinez is still on the board here.
No, but that's probably not on Damian's fault. The running back position has been so devalued that a lot of teams feel like we can probably get a undrafted running back who does the job. So if you're looking for the weak part of the draft, you know this better than me. Which part of the draft has strong thing? Running back is not one of it. So you're probably going to go to the defensive backs and to the defensive line to see where you can get more last because you're not going to get a lot of running backs. I'm sorry, you're not going to get a lot of good cornerbacks or offensive linemen in the drafted pool. So they probably you're going to see a run on offensive linemen, on defensive line, on linebackers because a lot of linebackers get drafted in this part of the draft because of special teams. And, of course, defensive backs are running things. So teams probably think they can get an undrafted running back after the draft.
Yeah, we're still going, Bobby. We're still going, bro. We're still going. Shout out to the dive bar. What you thinking of the draft, Bobby? What's the eye emoji about? Is it because he showed up, or something?
He's watching. Know, no, he's watching. He's watching for something.
We got Sarni's on a lunch break. Sarni's on a turkey sandwich break.
Turkey sandwich.
He couldn't believe that Kyle McCord didn't get drafted by the Dolphins, so he had it wasn't Kyle McCord. It was Cameron Williams going to the Eagles. Took him over the top.
He's not just said the Eagles because the Eagles took a lot of players he liked. So, and with reason. So, that's true.
I need to start doing draft streams more. I would eat less. You know what I mean? Because you're obligated here to
As long as you eat before your show and not after your show, you should be fine.
Yeah, dude, I'm getting my ass kicked by the sun. Yeah, he's out there in a family. He's at a festival or family thing. You got the link. If we're still on and you have a chance to come on, the link. I got you the link. So, what do you think of the draft? Let us know in the chat.
Ask Bobby which way he's gonna get the draft. Probably, if he had a chance, he'd probably know by now which way he's giving the day 3 of the Dolphins.
Shout out to Scotty Joe. He says Dupree, the tight end from Bama. He said he could help us. Yeah, tight ends.
Again, a big tight end, a physical tight end. Will do wonders for this team. The Golden. They went more physical. They went and they find a wide receiver, a big tight end.
He loves the Ollie Gordon and Phillips picks.
There you go.
Yeah, dude, Phillips. I'm liking him more. Phillips, short yardage back, power back. It fits the theme. There's an attitude tone theme here. Even the secondary guys they got. Dude, put on the tape. I know you're on the Sun. Put on that Dante Trader Jr. film. You're going to come back and thank me later, bro. All right? He just doesn't test well, and he's small. but the dude can play robbery, can play free safety, corner. He could do it all. Not corner, I mean free safety, slot corner, not outside corner, obviously, but he's a blitzer. He could play at the line of scrimmage. I mean, check him out. You're going to thank me, I was going to tag Daniel Jeremiah, because I told you about the top 75 thing, and he goes, only 6 players didn't get him on DJ's top 75. So I was going to tag him and say, well, only 5 of mine didn't get on.
Again, do the bar home.
No. But it was just funny. I just thought I should have tagged him in there, but I didn't want to do that.
Yeah, but by now, everybody who knows you by now, and we're not being friends for a long time, but watch you and admire what you do. You're not the guy to toot your own horn. So today's the day for you to do that.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know. Is that good? Is 70 out of the 75 gone in the top 75? Is 86 out of 100? Everybody's like, yeah, it's pretty good.
That's great.
Yeah. RJ Mickens, best player on the board available. The name that Quinn Ewers is a guy. I'm curious what Bobby's thoughts on Quinn Ewers if he's in the chat. You think they take a shot there if he's available? I asked you, Sammy. I know you said yes, right? You think they would take it?
If they get it with Carter Thompson, why not?
Yeah. Who's available? Who is a Mike McDaniel guy available that I think they would look at? Let's look at the board here. Start with the quarterbacks. Let's just go through them. I like Brady Cook a lot. He hasn't got took. He's a good athlete. Seth Hennigan's an underrated passer. Curtis Rourke. I mean, this is the Tyler. He's a Canadian kid. Taylor Elgersma. I don't know how to say his last name. Elgersma, the Canadian quarterback. Cam Miller at North Dakota State. So one of these guys, if they don't get picked, they could be Dolphins in undrafted free agency. Running backs, man, Damian Martinez still available. LaQuint Allen, Kyle Manaje. I know the Dolphins were high on this kid. I liked him. He was a sleeper for me. Montel Johnson Jr., running back. Donovan Edwards, the big back. You want another big back? He's a physical player, productive. Wide receivers, it looks like Bond, you agree, right, Sammy? This legal problems takes him out of the draft, unfortunately, right?
At this time in the play, you don't do that. You don't go in the 7th round with anyone who has that kind of problem. You probably find a way to do more diligence into the background of the situation. See, there you go.
Is that a lock? Is that a lock, Bobby? Give me a percentage in the chat.
I've been telling you.
Is that a lock? Give me the percentage.
I'm gonna call it right now because Bobby did, so I'm gonna call it.
If somebody called it, it's a lock. The horn.
He called it.
All right, so let's see here. Let's move on to the wide receivers like Restrepo, man. Bobby, your boy Restrepo, not getting picked yet, man. That sucks for him. Their teams are making a mistake. I want the Texans to take a look at him. I think they should. I don't know why they don't pair him up with
I don't know, but Restrepo has Patriot written all over it.
Dude, his feet. You put him in the slot, he can get you 40 catches as a rookie, man. I don't know what's going on there. I don't know what's going on. I have no idea. The other receivers, the big receiver out of Tennessee, Tess Johnson, the small, fast receiver out of Oregon, still there. Nick Nash is a sleeper receiver, big receiver. You want another big receiver? You got Daquan Felton, 50-50 ball guy, huge. Sam Brown Jr., really good, tested really well out of UM. All right, looking at the tight ends that are left in the chat, Scotty mentioned CJ Dupree.
I think that's the kind of talent I would like the Dolphins to get because again, they're trying to find a way to be more physical.
Well, man.
And they're trying to find a way to be more. I don't remember who said in the chat. Please let us know again who was because as soon as he said that, I remember that because that's the kind of tight end the Dolphins need. They're trying to be more physical in the end, so they already got a big back. They changed the way the guards play, so that might be a good pick for the Dolphins.
Yeah, and then we got.
I would be surprised he's there, but the Dolphins pick 15.
Yeah,
in the 7th round.
I like Thomas Fedoni, who's a highly recruited guy coming out, had a bunch of injuries. Got vice grip for hands, really big hands, long, 6'5", about 243. I think he's a guy, older prospect, Tons of injury history, but the 7th round, throw a shot at the board and take a chance with him.
And the NFL has changed so much. In the 90s, that those was the kind of play, the tight ends that the teams used to do, like the 6'4", 6'5", 245, 250. That now the NFL was stretching the field. Teams tend to go with the smaller, more athletic, faster tight ends. So the game has changed a lot in the last 20 years.
Yeah, R.J. Mickens off the board finally to Clemson. I'm shocked that he kind of went that far. But yeah, he went off the board at 214 to the Los Angeles Chargers. Fullbacks, obviously, not. Tackles on the board. Logan Brown still on the board. That surprises me. And the inside, you got Hubbard. You got Joshua Gray's a guy who would really, really fit the Dolphins. Ton of experience. He played left tackle. He could play inside. He's got really quick. He fits that outside zone. He looks like a Dolphin. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if one of their picks is Joshua Gray. And then Clay Webb's another guy I think is being slept on.
Yeah, and you manifested like you done it before. So now you said they might pick it. Who knows?
Willie Lampkin, 5'11", 290. He came in at 5'10", 270 at the Senior Bowl. So I would transition to fullback. Like, I think, you can't expect the thing with Willie Lampkin is, Sammy, that the tape is really good. And he blocked guys at the Senior Bowl. He blocked Deion Walker. He went, Cam Miller just went to the Raiders quarterback. Cam Miller, we just talked about him, the North Dakota State quarterback. But yeah, Willie Lampkin blocked Deion Walker, who's 6'7", 330 pounds, blocked him well. So it's kind of weird. Like, the tape looks good. He played in the ACC, but he's just an outlier. But I think if you put him at fullback, you get like a Pat Ricard type player. In short, imagine Ollie Gordon and Willie Lampkin in front of him, running behind Jonas Savanea. Let's go. You know what I mean? Let's play this January with that. I do like a lot of the January stuff. And we drafted a lot of September and November players in October. Now we draft a lot of January and December and January players. That's what I like about this draft.
That's the versation. That's what we've been talking about. The Dolphins finding a way to be a more physical team because, again, the AFC East is a cold weather division. It's a cold weather conference. So many teams in the cold weather. If we weren't in the NFC, we might have a chance. But most of the teams in of course, like I said, for us is the AFC Northeast because, of course, we know what happened. But overall, the AFC, so many cold weather teams. Most of them are cold weather teams. So the Dolphins needed to find a way to be more physical and change their ways because finesse is not going to work once we play that late part of November, early December in the playoffs. So we'll see what happens.
Clay Webb is a guy I really like. He's another guy. If I'm looking at this, Joshua Gray and Clay Webb are two guys I really like, along with Lampkin. I mean, I thought he played well at the Senior Bowl. He moves well. I think his center is probably his home, but they could use depth at center. He can also play guard. I think he can play center. He's a guard, but I think center might be his home. And we just said Mason Miller went off the board to the Raiders. We're at pick 216. We're almost. We're getting in the home stretch here. So thanks to everybody who's been joining us. We're at 267 viewers. Whether you're on YouTube, whether you're on X, thank you so much. Come on over, finish the draft with us. We have Jason Sarney, who's on lunch break, eating a turkey sandwich. We can't wait to get the play-by-play of the turkey sandwich, and we're going to evaluate the turkey sandwich when he gets back. We're going to break that down. And we got Finn Sammy.
Well, are we in the 7th round yet or no?
I hope so.
Because as soon we are in the 4th round, I'm going to start on the table for who. They're on the clock. The Cowboys.
You're gonna bang. You're banging the table.
No, you asked me to. You asked for it. You got it. You wanted me to bang the table for him. Bobby says it's a done deal, so I'm gonna bang the table. He was a couple of years ago. He was considered to be a number 1 pick.
I don't know. Are they really going to take it? I mean, I don't know if Bobby's just joking around. Maybe, but he says
I will not put him by him. He's well connected, as you'll know.
If anybody knows, if anybody's going to know some,
I will not put him by him because the draft is running on platforms so much late. They're probably 15, 10. The Dolphins might already had their pick in their hands by now. because it's running so much later. So yeah, they had 3 minutes, and they're not going to take the 3 minutes. They have probably had their picks. Who's left? This is the guy to work on. So they might be around, I don't know, the 10th pick in the 7th round. What do you know for?
Who knows? I mean, we are in.
But again, I think Quinn was considered a first-round pick a couple of years ago, even some of the season before. So I don't know what happened. Why such a huge fall for a guy who was considered one of the best prospects, the best quarterbacks in the draft. So but you know the Dolphins tend to do a lot of analysis. Not only this year they beat like with Tua, they did their homework with Tua for years before the injury, so that they were pretty much committed for Tua by their draft time. So I would not get this passed by them that they already know what they wanted. If it's there, again, I would not be shocked if this is the pick.
Yeah, here's the thing with Quinn Ewers. I think that this last season cost him some money, right? He's inconsistent. I think his decision making leaves a lot to be. I tried to get in love with the guy, and I couldn't. Right, so it doesn't. Everybody's talking about 3rd, 4th round. I said no way. I didn't see it. I told Jason on the show. I said I can't make myself fall in love with him. The one thing he does really well, right? There's some arm talent there, but his ball fakes and ball handling is really good. Like he'll create space in the pocket with his pump fakes and kind of maneuvering the ball. That's the best thing I saw, right? And when he's under pressure. That's a red flag. When you're under pressure and your play gets worse, that's a big, big concern for me. His decision-making, I thought, regressed a lot last year. The 23 tape was obviously a lot better. I thought he forced a lot of throws. I just didn't see it, right? I don't see the arm. I thought he's a name highly. Now, look, there's some things that maybe fit with the system that Mike McDaniel likes. He's got a quick twitch release, he throws in different arm angles. He's an unbelievable ball handler. And you know who else is a great ball handler? That's Tua Tagovailoa. So I could see why maybe if Mike McDaniel in a vacuum would be his guy, but I'm not convinced they're going quarterback here. But, if they do, we still got, he could go within the next few picks, right? If he's on I think they'll probably go the undrafted route. But if they're going to go quarterback, I think their guy would be Quinn Ewers, right? It wouldn't shock me,
Again, I'm a Tua or bust guy.
It has to be.
I want Tua to be our quarterback. I've been supporting Tua. It's getting harder and harder every single year instead of easier. But I'm a Tua supporter. Whenever Tua is done in his career, if it's in 10 years, hopefully 10 years after a couple of Super Bowls, the next time we come around, I would like a quarterback that's 6'5" with huge hands and a cannon for an arm, so we will go to Buffalo and Kansas City everywhere else. But as of right now, with the quarterback we have and with the scheme we have, that's the kind of guy you need. You need a guy that fits. You don't have to make so many changes. That was supposed during last season when we brought quarterbacks and quarterbacks went down and they did not fit the system. They tried, and Mike McDaniel could not for his life change the system to adapt to the quarterback they brought. So it's easier for us to get a quarterback that is similar to the quarterback that we have now in Tua trades than to get a quarterback completely different. So that's why it makes a lot of sense for me. If someone can fix a quarterback by now, we know that guy is Mike McDaniel. So we'll see what happens on that because the Dolphins Mike McDaniel probably doesn't have. I think Mike McDaniel has less time than what Chris has on time. So we'll see.
Shout out to Richard in the chat. Exactly why the Dolphins are not going any places because you insisted the Dolphins draft this guy, but he's hurt for 4 or 5 years. How long is this going to take? I don't know who's that referring to, but yeah,
he's referring about Tua. Yeah. He's referring about Tua. And hindsight is 2020 because, of course, Tua was considered the #1 draft pick even before he was taken in the draft.
Sorry, I didn't know that was referring to that. I wouldn't have brought that comment.
I'm pretty sure he's referring to Tua. Again, I was not a huge fan. I'll be honest. If the Dolphins, when they said there was that Stephen Ross wanted to draft Jay Burrow, that made sense just because of the fact that he had a great season and he had not been hurt. So that made a lot of sense. But I was not huge on Justin Herbert because for me he showed me Tannehill tendencies. Okay, a guy who's athletic, but his ceiling ends over here. He's been great. He has a cannon for an arm, but again, when you need it the most, he throws an interception. It's not like he's a winner because he has not burned the city in the playoffs. So again, hindsight is 20/20, but accuracy is something you cannot change. I would love for the Dolphins to get to a good enough offensive line for him to stay healthy and for him to have enough time in the pocket to throw. And the Dolphins had that, and his ceiling is matched, and he's over there, and that's it. I would say let's time to move on. But the Dolphins had nobody in life find a way to put him with a competent offensive line good enough for him to fully. And it's not making excuses. That's just my analysis. Yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah, and I'll say this. Tua is exactly what I thought he'd be, right, when I saw him come out.
Mm-hmm.
Tua is a good starting NFL quarterback. Anybody who denies that, whether you like him or you're too near, all the kind of things they talk about, I don't do that. I look at object. He's a really good starting NFL quarterback. Upper echelon at times, top 8, you can have him 8, 10, 12, whatever. He's just not durable. It's exactly what you thought in college. He's not durable, right? And is he going to be an 8-year pro and then that's it? Because whether the hip injury, now the concussions, the question with Tua is always not the floor. It's the ceiling. Where is it? When it's the big games that matter, he doesn't show up for. It's beyond the injuries too. I still have that question. When are you going to go head to head with these big? Sometimes you got to win a game. You're the QB. You got to put his team on your shoulder and win it, right? And it comes in different ways. Your defense plays real well, but you look at Mahomes. His stats might be modest, but what does he do? Okay, now it's time to turn. I got to make this play. Uses his ability to create off script and knows when he has to make a play and how to do it and get it done. And Tua in the big moments, that's the one criticism I have. He's a fantastic starting quarterback in the league, right? Durability is a question, and winning in December and January and winning against really good defenses and coming up in that big moment, not in week 6, but in week 16. That's my argument.
And for Patrick Mahomes, having Andy Reid truly helps.
Yeah, absolutely.
But again, I know what you're saying. The problem with Tua is sometimes when he's trailing, you know that every single time he got hurt, he's probably trailing because he tries to make too much out of it. He finds a way to run when he doesn't need to, or he holds the ball too much. But again, it's not on Tua. The Dolphins have failed to give him an offensive line that protects him and give him enough time for him not to do, for them to run the ball with a lead or to run the ball in the goal line. Again, it's not. If you ask me, it's not on Tua. Of course, he's not Dan Marino. He's not John Elway. He's not Patrick Mahomes. But he's again, Joe Montana didn't have the strongest arm. And Joe Montana got hurt a lot, if you remember, in the 80s and the 90s, the early 90s. Joe Montana usually, when you needed the most, he got hurt. Lawrence Taylor almost killed him one time. But Tua needs to get more experience in that part of the game. That you only do that by exposing yourself to getting to the playoffs. I would like to see the Dolphins doing a season that's consistent enough with a good running game and giving a chance in the playoffs and see what's going to get. Because in his college career, he was clutch when he needed to. Let me say that. So I'm not here to defend Tua. I don't believe he needs to be defended. But it's not on Tua. The Dolphins have failed Tua in so many parts of the river too. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And Tua doesn't need defending. Tua proved he can play in this league, right? Again, not the floor, the ceiling. Me.
And again, if we were in the NFC East with dumb teams and medium water teams, you have Seattle, of course, and Detroit is a dumb team, Atlanta is a dumb team, even LA that is cold is a dumb team. So there's so many cities that have the AFC. Every single team is a cold weather team after December. Pittsburgh, Cincinnati, Baltimore, New York, Buffalo. It's tough for a quarterback like Tua to succeed in that kind of weather. It is what it is. The Dolphins have failed because the route for them is more difficult. Tampa Bay find a way to win, but who they have to beat? The Saints, the Rams. They find a way to play as. And of course, they went to Philadelphia and won where they needed more than one time. But it's not the same to try to do it 3 consecutive games in the playoffs. If the Dolphins were to get into the playoffs, they have to be the Ravens, they have to be the Chiefs, they have to be the Bills. The margin error is so huge for the Dolphins as a warm weather team when you have to go to 3 cold weather cities. So yeah, the pass is not easy right now. So we'll see. The Dolphins may need to. That's why I believe the Dolphins should get a more physical team, a team that can control the ball, run the ball when it needs to, be strong on the offensive side of the ball, but especially on the end zone, because the end zone they need that fade route to Tyreek every single time on 3rd and short is a killer. It makes you want to throw things to the television. So.
And here's the other point, on that. Sorry to cut you off there, Sammy.
No, please do.
It's okay to bring in some competition to develop a quarterback. It's not like when you want Kyle McCord, you want whoever wants any quarterback. I like Jalen Milroe as a developmental guy. It's not a knock against Tua, right? It's just that you'd be nuts not to be trying to develop another guy when the majority of the seasons he's played in this NFL in his college career, he's missed significant time, at least 4 or 5 games a season. He played 1 full year. It's not a knock on him. And Tua himself's got to realize that. And we got to stop worrying about his mentality. If Tua Tagovailoa is still worried about competition, I'm going to got news for you guys. You're wasting your time. He's not your quarterback. You know what I mean? Like, if he's still worried about that. He's a big boy now. He's been in the league a long time. He's apparently a leader. You know, if you're a leader and you're the quarterback, you don't worry about competition. All right. There shouldn't be a 5th, 6th, 7th round guy who come in. You shouldn't even think about it. Right. Now, if you're not that mentally tough, you're not the quarterback for this team, and it's not going to go to the places you want to go. So
I personally believe it was a trust thing, more than a frail thing. After what Fleur went through, that the Dolphins were looking to trade for Watson. He's not the guy, and Fleur is obviously trying to sabotage to it's a trust thing. So at the time when there were rumors of trading him every single week and get a replacement every single week, I can understand why his mentality on where his place in this team was at that time. But right now he's a $50 million quarterback.
Yes.
So he should not be fired by any means.
I'm over this allergic to quarterback competition stuff. Nobody's coming in the guy you're bringing in is competing with Zach Wilson. Is competing to make the roster. Not to compete with Tua. So if you, I don't want fans or I don't want the organization to be thinking, okay, Tua Tagovailoa's psyche. If we're worried about that with any quarterback we bring in, it's a problem, right? I'm not saying that's the case on Tua's part. I'm not saying that, but I know it's been.
Oh, it was, but I don't think it's right.
Yeah. You're a $50 million quarterback. You got to take a leadership role now in the organization. That's over with. We got to start bringing some guys in, develop in the background because it's your durability. I have concerns about the late season stuff, the ability to win the big games, to show up and steal a game and kind of put your stamp on at the end of the season. Sammy, it hasn't happened, especially against really good defenses when they take away the timing of the offense. But
you need to run. You need to run the ball.
Run the football, and guess what?
And the Dolphins has failed it on that.
Sabanea, James Daniels helps. I'm excited about that. And Ollie Gordon in short yardage situations and the more physical back, I'm excited about that too.
And I implore my dad to please stop using the one HN like it's your own buddies, please.
Yes.
It doesn't make any single sense.
He's a change-up player. He's not a 15, 18 carry guy. He's the way he was used year one, perfect.
Yes.
Perfect.
Yes. But I would like for HN to be that, and this season probably more used more as a running back out of the back, a third wide receiver, and Jalen Wright to be more of trying to see what they invested so much in Jalen Wright. They need to know what's there in Jalen Wright. So I would like for him, and again, when he was drafted, he had very high grades from so many people who believe he should have been drafted in the 2nd or 3rd round. So
yeah. And I think too. We also I wanted to get the receiving core bigger too. That's one thing we accomplished in the offseason. This draft, you can't fill everything, right? Obviously they got 2 7th-round picks. I mean, hopefully that something sticks here, right? This is the 7th round, but I will say this is a very deep draft. as far as depth-wise from this is the last COVID year. There's going to be plenty of guys who play that got undrafted free agent more than a normal year. So there will be guys even undrafted, and especially this organization had big success. So I'm also looking forward to who they do in undrafted free agency. We're finally in the screen. Pick 231. We're in the 7th round. Bang the table, Sammy. Bang the table.
You know who I was. Bobby Collar, so I'm confident right now that's going to be the pick. But again,
Quinn Ewers. If it happens, you heard it here first. Exclusive on the Fins Faithful podcast. So come on over and watch, guys. Thank you. We have 280 people watching. We've been on 2.5 hours. I was on another hour with Bobby early. Thank you guys for sticking with us, sticking with the channel. Stick with us till the end. We're going to be breaking down the Dolphins' last 2 picks. We have Jason Sarney on a lunch break. It seems like he went somewhere else to go eat lunch. And then we got Sammy, Finn Stevie. We'll give Jason a break. He's been on a while.
He's a family guy. He's a great guy. He's a great family person. So he's probably having a sandwich.
Take your time. Take your time, Jason.
Take all the time you want.
Take all the time you want. We got to handle
back by the pick.
Yeah, just as long as you get back by 231. We love you, Jason. So what was my point I was going with here? What were we talking about? The running game. I'm not. I lost it. Oh yeah. I was just saying thank you guys, everybody, for joining us. Make sure keep it to the end with us here. We got Sarney, Finn, Sammy. We got. Let's see. Do they go Quinn Ewers in round 7? We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 picks away to the Dolphins pick. Will they go? What will they do? Will they have some fun with this pick? Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that little thumbs up, right? That's the like, the thumbs up. And the little bells to subscribe. I hate to keep asking. It's annoying. I get annoyed keep asking, but it's really, if you're not a content creator, you don't know what it really means to get that. And we appreciate it.
That's validation for a guy like yours who put so much effort, so much work into this project on the on-season, to go to YouTube and say, every time you give it a like, give it a comment, it changes the algorithm. It's validates with all the great job George has done. So
put it if you like or you don't like, comment in the during the show, after the show, the comment section. I like this. Any recommendation? I take criticism, positive, as long as it's positive and fair. I take any criticism or praise, whatever it is. Comments are good regardless, right?
Damian
Martinez off the board. Good for Damian Martinez. Damian Martinez to the Seattle Seahawks at pick 223. Good for him. Let's get Restrepo off the board, man. He didn't get taken, correct?
No, I don't think he has.
Yeah. He's talking about Jackson.
And he's still, hopefully he's drafted. We would love for him to get drafted. But if he's not, I would love for someone from the Dolphins to be outside of his door with a contract to sign, because that's the kind of guy who his time was not the best, but he's a football player for sure. I'm sure he can find a niche on the Dolphins offense.
Yeah. I got a question on Twitter about where did Jackson Slater go. Let me look that up to be completely sure where he went. Jackson Slater went. I heard something. We got somebody. We taking it home strong. The boys in there. Hey, viewers, you better come up now. Bobby, do your thing.
The Bobby magic.
Oh man, we needed the juice, bro. We needed the juice.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah. You got a little sun on you, bro. You got a little sun on you.
Dude, I got crushed out every day. Holy hell.
All right, Bobby. Let us know your thoughts.
I mean, I like everything. I mean,
Phillips a dude, man. Let me tell you that right now.
Dude, Jordan Phillips got me hyped.
He got me hyped. He's a dude.
But then I'm not even gonna act like I know the other two. I really don't.
Put on the Dante Trader film.
The Florida guy was supposed to be maybe a 3rd round pick if he didn't get injured this year. Trader had a good Senior Bowl. People thought he played really good in his one-on-one reps. But other than that, I'm not gonna act like I have any crazy information on that.
What about Gordon? I know you like. We got physical now.
Oh yeah, dude, I like Gordon. Dude, he's a year removed from the best running back in college football. 1,700 yards, had Heisman votes.
Look, man, I will tell this. I will say this about Ollie Gordon. When you think of him in a vacuum of a short yardage, kind of 2-down back, who maybe there's more upside. You can get what you saw in that 23 season. But he's big, man, and in the goal line, he's going to help us a lot. It's the attitude change, Bobby. This is what we talked about. It's part of it. Him running
for sure.
Put it like this: goal line situation. Enough of the outside zone, bro. We got a January powers package. Let's get him running behind Sabanea on 3rd and 1 in Baltimore. Let's go. All right.
Another thing, like he's a great guy to bring in on 3rd down. He's a good 3rd down back because he can block his ass off.
Yes, he can block. And he's got some pass catching. I think he can do some stuff in the pass catching game.
Yeah, I think he's a good 3rd down back starting out.
And Trader, you don't know much about Marshall. I just read that he said he models his game after Jalen Ramsey. So,
Really, I heard Buda Baker.
Buda Baker.
That's what he said. That's what the guy said.
I just read on Twitter that he said Ramsey. So, all right, where are we going here? Is it Quinn Ewers?
I was just messing with y'all as far as today goes, but I did hear during the process that they really do love Ewers. Like that's not a fake thing. Like there is strong interest. They said they would take him before now, and he's still there. So like, that's. I mean, it could happen. I was just messing with y'all as far as like I didn't hear nothing 30 minutes ago. But I have heard several times during the process that they like Ewers.
Yeah, so have I. Sammy, you're banging the table for him, huh?
Yeah, that's the guy I want. If he doesn't go to the 49ers here in this pick, he probably will be there. So fingers crossed.
Yeah, I think at this point in the draft, why not?
Absolutely.
I mean, that's how I feel about anybody we choose, though, honestly, at this point. I mean,
either that or a goal line tight end who is physical enough. Really loves to take linebackers. He's a part of the game, the special teams, safety or something like that. But if he's there, I would love for him to take the chance. There's nothing to lose. So
hold on, let's see the best.
It's crazy. I obviously understand the off the field thing, and y'all just talked about it. But Isaiah Bond is whoo.
Yeah, dude. You know who he looks like? He looks like Jalen Ramsey, bro. He plays like Jalen Waddle.
I'm about to say, what the hell?
Like what? Yo, George, forget it. No.
My boy got Ramsey on the brain.
Yeah, no, I got Ramsey on my mind. I'm gonna ask you about Ramsey in a minute here. Don't worry. The insider, the Fins Faithful podcast insider, Bobby Shaw.
There you go.
Oh,
hey,
Sammy, go check out.
Story.
Did you guys see
it, dude?
Hey, did you guys see that show we did yesterday? But my brother told me, yo, you were not. I wasn't on yet, but your reaction was great. And he goes, then when you came in, you're like, oh yeah, do this. We're live. Oh, we're live.
You said, thank God I didn't say that crazy.
Yeah. We had somebody in the chat came on earlier. Was like, yo, I loved you on Bobby Shaw. I got to remember the name. You probably is it Hammer?
Oh yeah, Hammer.
Yeah. He showed up and he shot you out.
Hammer's a big time podcast supporter. So like, not just for me, but like, dude, he's like in every live show. Like, that guy puts in work.
Yeah. We're finally. You came in a good. The Dolphins are finally in range here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna look at the.
I know the Dolphins like this kid, man. He just went Keontae Hamilton, the Rutgers D tackle. Damian Martinez went off the board. Hey, man, let's get your boy Restrepo drafted, man. Come on.
I think, dude, I'm telling you right now, I think they were going Ty Robinson, and he went to the Eagles.
Who? Dolphins?
Yeah.
Well, and what round was that? That was the round.
That was the pick before we traded down. The Eagles took Ty Robinson, and we traded back with the Texans.
Oh, you think we were going Ty? It makes sense.
Yeah, that was my guy too. I was banging the table for.
Yeah, you loved him, bro.
I thought that was the perfect.
Ghost loved him, didn't he?
Yeah, our whole group loves him. Though.
I know Ghost was tweeting stuff about how's Joe doing, man, with the Tate Rutledge mother.
Well, the thing is, we all prefer Jonah. The thing is, realistically, it wasn't possible. Like we came up to 37 and got Jonah. Joe even said, "I think Jonah's going to be gone, so I think the next best pivot is the mullet." So like,
yeah, Joe looks like he just got a fresh mullet cut. The sides are taped up, you know. Dude, I was screaming before the pick announced because Greer was like, finally got some balls to move up. Yeah, dude, this is a Chris Greer draft. Come on now. Even the running back is not a Mike McDaniel running back.
No, not at all.
This is not a Mike McDaniel running back.
Dude, they got a situation now because I mean, you can carry 4 backs, but like,
nah, Matheson, come on, man. He's a jag, bro. He's a jag. He's just another guy.
I mean, we carry 4 backs though. I mean, that's not like uncommon.
Welcome
Jeff
back.
Been hanging around forever.
Jason Sonny. How was the turkey sandwich, Jason Sonny? We got to fill your spot in, man. You know.
Hey, what up, Bobby? What's going on, man?
How you doing?
It was not a turkey sandwich. It was leftover Sicilian slice from.
I thought he went to your famous carbonara, Parmesan chicken Parmesan. Oh, he's not gonna be wet for a couple of hours.
Too much going on with the draft. I can't do that yet. I need easiness. I need reruns on TV, not new news.
What's up, boys? Shout out to FMP. What's up, boys? Who do you guys have at 31? Predictions at 231.
You know who I'd really love to see?
You want me to go best available, Bobby?
I'd really love to see Kobe Bryant.
I can do that. He's still available?
Yes.
You know who I like, man? I like Clay Webb. I like that guy from he's a sleeper, man. He's a guard. I know it wouldn't be the sexiest thing, but like at this point, take the guys you think are the best football players. I'm a big Clay Webb fan. Let's see. Jason, any names you like? We'll go through the board here. Let me get the board back up.
I mean, Kobe Bryant, Restrepo.
Logan Brown's a good player.
My linebackers.
Hey, did the safety from
that's on the board from Kansas, that type tackle, yeah.
Hey, did the safety from Wisconsin go?
Wisconsin?
What's his name, man? He's big white dude. Oh, Hunter Wohler. Shout out my boy Hunt. This is one of my dudes. Hunter. Ooh. I can do some of this. I can do some of that.
There's a lot of
Sebastian
breaking news: the 49ers win quarterback, but it's Curtis Rourke from Indiana.
Curtis Rourke. Wow. Is it going to be a repeat of the draft that they took Brock Purdy and we took Skylar Thompson? 2 quarterback. The Niners taking a quarterback in the 7th round could be a signal. The last time they did that, the Dolphins and Niners both took a quarterback. If I'm not mistaken, that's
a good pick.
You like Rourke, huh?
I mean, it's at this point, yeah, that's a great pick.
What do you think about Ewers? Would you go there? I didn't like this film, but
to me, it's not about that anymore. It's the 7th round. If you're going to take, I mean, look at the guys available. It's the 7th round pick here.
Yeah.
Who's got the best arm talent? Ewers.
Yeah.
I get that he might not be anything, but like, what are you going to use on the 7th round?
I like Cook a lot though. I like the athlete. Isaiah Bond, man. Tough break for the kid. I mean, who knows what happened, right? I'm not, I don't know the details. Obviously, we don't know. CJ Dupree, I know the chat's been hyping him up. Junior, Nazir Stackhouse.
I like Stackhouse. Good 3 to 5 technique.
Yep. Yeah, you made a good point about Robinson, man. That's interesting. I think you might be onto something there.
Oh yeah, Jason, you just missed that because I know we talked about that too. I really feel like Ty Robinson was the pick, and the Eagles took him, so we traded down with the Texans.
You know what? I feel that, and like if we're liking a player and the Eagles take him, that's a W.
yeah. In some ways, yes.
Seriously, I mean, it sucks, but just from the mindset, it's like, all right, if we're on the same wavelength, that's nice. But the only thing, Bobby, I thought they could have been a little bit more aggressive, but I get why they weren't. You know, when you vacate 2 rounds and you have the ability to go up and get a guy, I can understand what they're trying to do for the next couple of years out. But it would have been nice to get Ty, but I thought that the Jordan Phillips, all right, he's gone, but let's go get him, was a really good secondary option.
Especially adding a third. And adding a third. So, like.
You guys want a nasty, big potential toolsy edge? That's Jared Ivey, bro. He's alone.
Oh my God. I'm not that mad, but the Chiefs just got a fun player in Brashard Smith. Running back, wide receiver.
UM product, former University of Miami guy.
Transferred to SMU. Yeah, I like him. Slash kind of guy. He could do a couple of different things.
Who got him?
Kansas City.
Oh, that figures.
Yeah.
We're a few picks away.
I mean, if we're looking at the board, I mean, we could still be okay, and no one I think could argue drafting maybe a wide receiver.
Tommy Hill's available, huh? There's some good corners.
Could go to wide receiver, George, if you don't mind.
Yep.
Love the receiver
I mean,
class
here's
right
the
now.
time where, yeah, me too. Elijah Badger's still available.
You want size? Nick Nash. You want size? You want size?
I do want size. You
want a 50-50 ball guy? That's your man right there. Sam Brown tested well, man.
One pick away.
Oh.
Okay. But I will start to say that give me a linebacker. Give me a special team linebacker would be the
I
first
got you, guy. I got you, guy.
John Dolak or Jay Higgins. Look, I just want one. Give me one, Bobby. Give me one.
But let's go linebacker the last pick, you know?
Yeah, but we talked about it before. We love to take the linebackers in the 7th round, so I want to force it back.
So Detroit's on the clock, right?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then us. Let's go.
Is this our first live react? It took us to the 7th round for all to get this thing.
We're on the clock.
Was y'all live for Phillips?
No, we went on. We took a break. And yeah, I know, dude.
That would have been exciting.
Yeah, here's the thing. No, Jason had to his kid's soccer game. I guess I could have went alone, but and Sammy had some prior obligations, so we said let him pick on the 5th round. We'll get back into it and we'll run it through. Jason's like, oh, should we get off? I go, no, let's run it through, bro. Let's just run it through. And now it's kind of like I'm glad we did, because like we're almost to the stretch home here, and it's like, where are we at now? West Palm Beach, Jason? Is that where we are? In your theory of going when you're in Jacksonville or when you're in
that to me, that's actually home. That's home. That's around my parents. So we're in Port St.
We're in Orlando.
Lucie. We're Port St. Lucie.
Port St. Lucie.
Any Met fans out there?
Any Met fans? Yeah.
Old spring training ground, Port St. Lucie.
Dude.
That's an up and coming town, right?
One of my favorite trips I did was we went all around every like 6 or 7 spring training spots, 3 or 4 days.
Yeah.
Me and my bros. It was nice. It was unbelievable because you get great access at spring training games. All right.
That's exactly right. If any parents, older brothers, siblings, whatever, want to take their kids to get autographs of cards and memorabilia, go to a minor league baseball game. That is part of the job. You will get bats, balls, helmets, hats, autographs. 20 minutes, 30 minutes they'll be spending doing it.
Or go to the game. You can go cheap and sit in the first row. Well, in the Marlins game, you can do that anyways, but
there's a report that the Lions went defensive back. Apparently, but I can confirm it. But
all right. Yeah, they did. Safety Dan Jackson. Oh, Dan Jackson.
Are we tipping this, or are we waiting for what?
If you want to tip it, you can tip it. You got it already?
I think if you got it, smoke if you got him.
This is the part of the show where you spoil it.
Yeah, I mean, I'll tell y'all when I get it, but dude, I just wanted us to be able to say I didn't want to. Go ahead. I didn't want nobody to I didn't want to step on toes or I didn't know what system y'all are running here.
No. You do what you do. You do what you do. Oh, you haven't got it yet.
We're like a motion offense, Bobby. Whatever happens.
Yeah, no, I don't have it. I just wanted to make sure we were on the same page.
Cool.
We'll know Bobby's reaction. I'll be able to tell if it's or if it's
Dude, this might be spicy.
Hey, let's have a little fun, man.
Dude, that's what I'm saying.
Hey, we've had enough steak and potatoes. Now, where's the dessert? You know what I mean?
Right.
Where's the dessert?
Oh, come on.
Jason already had what did you have? Your pizza? Leftover pizza?
Yeah,
you already.
Listen, Don't sleep on day after Sicilian. Throw it in the toaster oven for a little bit.
No, I'm not. Throw it in the air fryer, bro.
I'll tell you one benefit we have. If these Miami receivers go undrafted, we gotta have the upper hand on them.
I actually love Samuel Brown, Bobby.
Yeah. Also, what's the other one? Not Restrepo, but
Bobby was tipping the last 3 picks.
You mean
he said he won?
Yeah.
What guys?
When we had that break, I went over to my brother's room and watched the rest with him. And
okay, get ready.
They're going live at the stadium.
You know the pick, Sammy?
Well, Quinn Ewers, who has It's verified. It has 102 followers. Says Dolphins took Quinn Ewers with a 231st per source.
Wow.
Hold on.
We got a QB.
Hold on. I ain't seen nothing yet.
Come on.
Hold up.
Watch out, Tua. Watch out, Tua.
Hold on.
Come on.
Hold on.
Quinn Ewers, baby. It's in. Look at the tracker. Look at the screen.
Oh my God.
Really?
We got dessert.
Whoa!
All right.
Told y'all.
Bobby!
We got dessert exclusive here on the FinsFaith broke by Bobby Shouse Jr. Quinn Ewers will be the pick.
You need to go to the camera angle so you can see Bobby's help, because Bobby was the first one confirmed it first. Even he says no source, I'm still busy about that. He might have sources with it. He didn't want to keep them up, so I don't know.
Let's see.
But I've been calling for, I don't know, 2 rounds for
Let's go here. All right, Bobby. Floor is yours. What do you know about the Quinn Ewers pick? What did you hear in the process? The insider. When he's not on the dive bar, he's the insider over here.
Look, I'll tell you this. Like I told y'all already, during the process, a lot of people said, and I didn't, you never know how true anything is in the process, but dude, the Dolphins really like Ewers. They spent a lot of time talking to him. And look, like I told y'all, you're in the 7th round. He's still sitting there looking at you. Look, you're taking chances. You're looking for traits in the 7th round. This guy was, like Sammy said, once upon a time, a number 1 overall projection. So things didn't, amount to what they should have with him. He kind of hit his ceiling. He was on a really great team and couldn't win on a big stage. But in the 7th round, the kid is gifted. I mean, this kid's been viral for 6 years because of his arm talent. I remember this was the first viral quarterback I remember, just out there on an open field whipping things sidearm. So, dude, I love it. I heard that the Dolphins really, really loved him. I wasn't sure. You never know what is what, but I'll tell you this. I'm looking forward to preseason, boys. That's going to be fun. That's going to be fun.
You got hype. Hey, now Ollie Gordon.
George, who's Ewers backup at Texas?
Pretty popular guy.
Who is?
Is he a quarterback famous name in Manning?
Exactly. If you can help, you kind of find a way to hold that guy down. Again,
the timeline is overwhelmingly negative right now, and I'm just like,
dude, it's the 7th round. Come on.
We have 2 7th round picks. Do you understand how this works?
It's a 7th round.
If you're bitching, I could understand if we took Quinn Ewers in the 3rd round. If we took Quinn Ewers at 98, I could get arguments. We're at what, 230?
Come on. It's the 7th round. Let's go. Have some fun here, man. Look, it's like you're throwing
any other fan base will be calling this a steal. But Dolphins fans are not happy with it.
You should have took Sanders over. Look, Sanders is a name, man. It's a 7th round pick. Look, I did film on Quinn Ewers. When there was 3rd or 4th round talk, I was not into it. He's processing, his decision making. He gets worse under pressure, but there's arm talent there, you see, and his ability to ball handle, Bobby. He creates throwing lanes with his ball handling. I will give him that.
Who else has great ball handling abilities? Tua. That whole offense is built off of it.
With McDaniel, this was McDaniel's guy, right? I think clearly, guys, this was Mike McDaniel's pick. And we need a developmental quarterback. Settle down. It's a 7th round. This is a little dessert. Jason Sarney, what are your thoughts? You didn't get McCord, but you got Quinn Ewers.
Listen, I'm fine because if you're
Man,
getting a guy who is similar, I like the arm talent here, as Bobby said. Bobby, shout out to you with the prediction. Very, very good shit. I just think this is a guy who I think McDaniel, the quarterback whisperer, right? Get your hands on him, develop him, and he could be in 2 years, he could be the backup who maybe even has a chance. I like it. Get him in competition this summer. Zach Wilson, nothing's written in stone, Zach. Nothing's written in stone. So let's go. Look,
7th round pick. You get the guy in the building under contract. What's the worst? I mean, a lot of times 7th round picks don't make team.
Yeah. You want to get his teammate now? The wide receiver?
Ooh, I don't know.
I don't know if we need that.
We don't need that.
Look, I'd get over it in 3 seconds because it's not my responsibility to worry about all that.
I ain't babysitting.
Yeah. If they did it, you just the value is the value. I always say this because I don't get tied up in off the field stuff. It's not my business what people do off the field. I worry about the player on the field.
Let's get a quick 20-second clip here of the man. Hold on, let me.
My guy.
Your guy. Oh, shout out. That this was Sammy's guy. You want to get pumped? Let's get Bobby pumped a little bit. Because I love
just by about a half step.
There's nothing to complain about with this in the 7th round at all.
Right. Loft one downfield, a ton of air.
Let him know.
Touchdown.
If you told me to, I made that throw. I would be
Deep shot. This offense
that's
has been
Hey, he's a guy that's used to throwing to speed receivers. That's for sure.
What a throw by you. Position just by about a half step.
Spent the last couple years with Sarkisian, great offensive mind.
Yeah, man. Guys, people. I haven't seen the timeline yet, but I'm sure there's some. We should, if we're going to quarterback, let's go Sanders. Come on.
Listen, we're talking about a franchise that has Skylar Thompson as a backup for Tua for a couple of years. If you go by career, if you go by attributes, I think he's much better than Skylar Thompson. So I don't know what's the complaints about.
Yeah, I mean, look, like Clown Prince says, bro. Last year was OG2 and the Ewers. Olive Gordon is he's saying, we took some risk here. Olive Gordon the second. Good point. Ewers were Heisman talk. Now we got him. The 24 tape was bad, right? If we can get something out of 23 tape with these guys, come on now. Like as a developmental guy, all we got is Zach Wilson.
There's nothing to complain about.
Nothing.
This is the 7th round.
What did you want? An offensive guard? Come on, man.
Only Dolphins fan will complain about something like this because it's crazy when you complain about it.
Round 3 or 4? Yes. Round 7? Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
I'm not complaining.
This is free lottery tickets that people are getting to root for and to hope for. Free lottery tickets. Right?
And I'm so glad we talked about this when I first came on because I got ahead of it. I'm not just sitting here loving the Dolphins pick. I said at this point, you cannot complain about Quinn Ewers. It just is what it is. And I'm glad I said that 10 minutes ago because it's so Dolphins to just love every pick. I said this, dude, you cannot complain about Quinn Ewers at 230. Like, dude, come on.
And if we got a linebacker or a tight end, there will be half of the fan base say, "Whoa, we passed the quarterback." There will be someone who complain about it. So you can please anyone.
Right? Can we say we had a first on here? Is that possible? Can we say that?
Say whatever you want.
I'm gonna claim it.
Hey, Bobby, out of all the people, Sammy got his guy. Everybody clap for Sammy. Sammy banged the table for Quinn Ewers.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
this was a good
look.
It checked off all the boxes.
We got a little present. We stayed the whole draft
waiting for this pick.
This is fun, man. This is what it's the 7th round.
We've been waiting for about 35 picks for the.
How many times did we talk about Quinn Ewers? Man, it had to happen, right?
Look, at 4:22, I told the guys in our group chat, Dolphins are going to take Quinn Ewers. And I don't know what time I told y'all, but dude, that was like,
dude, you got the time.
That was the easiest prediction. The easiest prediction. Like I said, I was told that could be an option 3rd, 4th for them.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah. I think what soured me on him is all like Ollie Gordon. The range what everybody was talking about, I was like, no, man, I don't see that. But in the 7th round, there's arm talent there, right? He was a highly recruited guy. You can't get better prospect in the 7th round as a quarterback just coming out of college than Quinn Ewers, right? Look, if he develops into a backup, we have Zach Wilson and nobody else. I repeat, we have Zach Wilson and nobody else, and we have a quarterback who's the least durable starter in the NFL. You take these shots, and next year, whoa, what we doing now, Bobby? What we doing?
Since you love the Bucs picks, Tez Johnson.
Oh, I got to call my brother. My youngest brother's a Buck fan. I got 2 brothers. One's a Dolphin fan like me. He came in here to the room the other day, and my youngest one is a Bucs fan. Yo,
he knew the younger one knew better.
Yeah. He told me he's got his but he's wearing his shirt is cool, man. It says "Buck around and find out." You know what I mean? That he was wearing around. I told him that should be his fantasy football name. But Tez Johnson got some. You happy, Bobby? Huh?
I just love sorry, you're seeing my live raw emotions. I just love it when sometimes you get info and you hear a million things during the processes, and sometimes it's the truth. It just works out.
And they shout out to, we got over 300 people in total. Now we got Bobby, we got Jason, Sonny, we got Finn, Sammy, myself. We're breaking down. We just took Quinn Ewers. We got a little dessert on day 3, guys. Calm down. It's a 7th round quarterback. Tua's going to be fine. There's no, it's not competition. He's a developmental guy, but really highly talented quarterback coming out. Guys, I don't know about you, but he was talked 3rd, 4th round, right? Coming in, right, Bobby, right, Jason? There was 3rd round, 4th round talk with him.
Sure.
Easily.
Yep.
I thought he would go to Denver. He's Nick's.
I think we all seen how the draft unfolded, especially for quarterbacks. I mean, Kyle McCord just went, so like.
Yeah, McCord went. Remember I said. Your boy, Quinn Allen. Yeah,
Quinn Allen just went to draft.
Remember I said before the pick. You know why I thought it was going to be? I knew it was going to be quarterback because the 7th round, the Niners and Dolphins usually take quarterbacks since McDaniel's been here. They did it with Skylar Thompson and Brock Purdy, and now they did it with. He took Curtis Rourke. Maybe we took Curtis. We took Skylar the 1st, and then they took Purdy the 2nd. Maybe we get a little. Hey, I'm not saying Brock Purdy. Remember, Brock Purdy was a highly touted guy, and then he dropped, and then he kind of disappeared. Maybe it's the chances are rare, but yes, I agree. We think as a prospect, McCord's better than Ewers, right? I think across the board, but Ewers was a social media darling, Bobby, right? You mentioned that. He was the guy all over there, throwing the ball. And it makes it fun, right? To talk about the draft after, it's spice. You get a little spice to it, Can we please get back in for X?
I'll tell you why not. You want to hope that he doesn't get drafted, so he'll stay home. The first call he gets will be an invite. He'll probably be a good guaranteed money. I'm not – all right, I feel bad. I don't want to, hope he doesn't get drafted. If he gets drafted, let the Dolphins draft him. If not, I'm sure he will be right away invite to undrafted. And he'll make he could. You never know.
Yeah, we got 433 people watching. Shout out to Quinn Ewers for that. Shout out to Quinn Ewers. Shout out to Bobby Shouts Jr. for that. Guys, I'm glad we decided to stay on because you know what the realistic is? You know what's realistic? This pick gets more juice than Jonas Avenea, man. It's a 7th round pick. It shouldn't, right?
Quarterbacks move the needle.
They move the needle. They move the money. They move everything. Quinn Allen, your boy, Quinn Allen from Syracuse, Jason, just went as a prospect. Anybody have any opinions on kind of Ewers as a prospect? I gave you my thoughts, what I didn't like about him and what I liked about him. To me, the ball handling stands out. Not only the ball handling, he creates throwing lanes. It's the best ball handling I've seen probably in this draft. He creates throwing lanes with it. The stuff under pressure is not good, but I think maybe in this offense he has a chance. Either one of you guys step up if you want to give anything you like about him or don't like about him.
The arm talent. At this point, you're looking for what's like the feature of a player, and it's the arm talent mixing with the quarterback guy and head coach like a Mike McDaniel. They can hone those skills, kind of, develop them. And yeah, I think if you already have that arm talent, you could tool and technique other areas in his game. And you look 2 years, 3 years down the road, all of a sudden the Dolphins have a solid quarterback room now and for the immediate foreseeable future with potential and insurance for Tua.
Yeah. I'm gonna play a little clip here. Bobby, I want you to watch. I want to get you fired up again. It's my favorite thing, dog. Ever since that show was great, bro. I can't. All right. Let's see.
Back in the NFL, win, lose, or draw, he's going to show up the next day with the same work ethic, the same drive, the same film study. I think Quinn has that. I know what we asked of him protection-wise. I know what we asked him from a progression standpoint and concept and reading coverages and things of that nature. In some aspects, I think he almost translates better to that league when everybody around him is playing that same brand and same style of football. I'm not so concerned how high he goes. I'm more concerned about him going to the right place. It's almost better that some of these other guys get picked
Yeah.
Because now you become, more of a commodity. Like, man, if we want him, we better go get him. The quarterback in the NFL.
Somebody stop me
win,
here.
lose, or
Somebody,
draw, show up
I'm
the
ready to
next day
go.
with the same work
I'm ready to go.
ethic, the same drive, the same.
I'm ready to go. I'm ready to go, baby. No, it makes a good point, though. All kidding, joking aside, Coach makes a good point. Right place. Let these other guys go in front of him. It might work out for him. He found a good home. It's a good fit. And we all know quarterbacks. I mean, let's temper our expectations. It's a 7th round pick, but quarterbacks, the right situation they go in, means something, right? We've seen that with our own quarterback, right, guys?
Yep.
So I know Jason's probably. Are you in the article, Jason? Are you getting that article ready to go?
I had to just finish up a little Quinn thing. I want to be on pace here, and I'm starting to jot down my undrafted list. I'm starting to jot down a couple of names.
Are you going to give us a preview before we sign at the end of the draft? Okay, the last pick before we sign.
I'm rooting for like all these guys. I'm rooting to get drafted, like for sure. So once we hit the bell, I'll give you the list. I'll give you some of the list.
We got almost 600 people watching us now. Shout out to everybody who's watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe, little bell, thumbs up. Yo, Bobby. Shout out to Bobby Shouse Jr. for breaking this early in the day, behind the scenes, and then in our chat, he told us, "Yo, it's not me, but I'm telling you, Quinn Ewers is gonna be a Miami Dolphin." Sammy, we got one of the guys got the quarterback they wanted. Unfortunately, Sarney didn't get McCord. Sammy, you banged the table here. Tell everybody why they should be happy about Quinn Ewers here.
You basically said it all. No. A guy who a couple of years ago was a consensus on the upwards of probably even being a first-round quarterback. So that happens every single year, but he fits them all. The coach said. You don't. It's easier for us to get a quarterback that fits what we're doing on offense than for Miami Dolphins to change his offense. If Tua or any quarterback goes down, because was proved during the last season that he could not change his ways on offense to adapt to any other quarterback that wasn't Tua that well. So with that, time will tell. But at least I like that about him. I like the fact that he's a similar kind of quarterback, not the strongest arm, but a good accuracy. I think he's more athletic and more mobile than Tua. That's I wanted a quarterback that had a chance to be more mobile because quarterbacks don't have enough time to prepare on any given week with Tua as a quarterback. So I like the pick because of that.
Yeah.
Bobby?
Also, go ahead.
I think Bobby was going to say something.
Bobby, go ahead.
Oh, Des Bryant just tweeted, I like Quinn Ewers over Tua already. He's Dan Marino 2.0, and yes, I said it.
Oh boy.
That's why you're going to go Shedeur Sanders.
Yeah.
Shedeur. Yeah.
I think you're putting a hat at Jason.
You're mute.
That's 2 Halletts, 3 overall.
3
Halletts
now.
overall. 3 overall. I said to call that Marino 2.0 is like back in the day, basketball-wise, when people started calling Wally Zerbiak 2.0.
Wally Zerbiak. Bro just brought out Wally Zerbiak.
Nice.
Wally.
Long Island legend.
Wally Zerbiak. He could get a bucket, huh? He could get you a bucket, Wally Zerbiak.
Miami of Ohio legend.
Yeah. He went top 10, didn't he? Top 5. Where did he go? Let's not lose viewers. Let's not talk about Wally Zerbiak.
Good idea. No offense, Wally.
Yeah. Are we back on the clock when?
We got like the 4th to last pick.
Perfect.
5th to last pick.
That's alone.
253.
Yeah, Tez Johnson, man. I like the Bucks. Dude, they got David Walker, that edge. Dude, he's underrated, man. I love David Walker. And Tez Johnson's a sneaky good player. He's got some what's the Texas receiver? The small one.
Isaiah Bond?
No. Houston Texans. Sorry, not Texas.
Oh,
Noel? The new one?
You know what I'm talking about.
Tank Dell?
Oh,
he's got one. You know, I like to do my thing. If you squint hard enough, you see a little Tank Dell. You squint hard enough, you can see a little Tank Dell. Hey, did Thomas Fedoni go, the tight end? Let's pull up the board. Let's get onto the. Let me take a quick bathroom break, and Sammy, take control of the show. Let me take a quick little bathroom break,
Since Jason's writing, can you hear me, Jason?
Yeah.
You're writing an article on drafted players. As of right now, which one is the research position? When you see there a lot of runs on probably offensive line when thing, linebackers are usually the one who's the most drafted free agents. Who do you see as a position right now the most of drafted free agents available when the Dolphins close the draft?
I mean,
no, without saying names, because we're going to go to your article, but overall the positions.
Positions rather than names, or
the other one names, because I wanted people to do. I want to spoil the article.
Perfect. I'll tell you what, if a tight end who could be a good mold is available, maybe that will work. I'm still in the offensive tackle market if a player is identified that could be a good swing tackle. Wide receivers, fine. And look, to me, you're looking at the position and you're looking for the other phase, special teams. If there's a gunner, if there's a coverage, if there's a return man, anybody who could absolutely help a new special teams coach, this is the time. Look, I'll tell you, one of my favorite draft stories ever was once upon a time in a 7th round, a certain special teams coach started saying, listen, you got to get that kicker. There was Darren Rizzi saying he wants Jason Sanders. Hopefully a new special teams coach might say, listen, I love this guy, potentially could be my gunner, my ace, and maybe in 2 years, 3 years, he can get on your unit, Coach Weaver. So I don't know. So let's see what we can do, but there's talent, and oh man, am I going to love these undrafted, because every year, Sammy, Bobby, George, everyone out there, there's one every year. Yes. And the last 5-6 years, there's always one, sometimes 2 or 3, but in 4 or 5 months, we are all going to be praying that undrafted free agent makes the 53.
Absolutely. Shout out to George for coming back on camera like Cosmo Kramer, all lovely.
I'm so excited about. Hey, I'm so excited about Quinn Ewers. I'm punch drunk here. Quinn Ewers, baby. To a who?
Ah, come on, stop it. That's why you don't draft Shedeur Sanders. That's why.
All right, so man, I'm glad it's fun. Look, say what you want, man. It's fun when you take a quarterback, no matter where.
Listen, again, when your quarterback's earning over $50 million, a 7th-round quarterback that can develop and don't cost anything at all.
I will shout out about one thing I like about Ewers is he throws a lot of arm angle slots, man. He got in the right place. Whether he makes it or not, I don't know, right? It's a shot in the dark, but he got in the right place. Zach who? But at least, dude, we got some nice, it's not like, Mike White, Skyler. We got some tools to work with at the back up to develop both of these guys. Because,
my God.
What happened?
Des Bryant quote tweeted me.
No.
What did he say? What did he do?
I said, put the
Mama,
gun.
I made it.
I said, put the gun down, man. He said,
that's amazing.
Hey, Des Bryant, you want to hop on here, bro? Let's do it.
He said, I'll never forget when I spoke my thoughts about Patrick Mahomes when he got drafted. Folks thought I was crazy, but we all know how that situation is played out at the moment. Sometimes it's all about where you land. Ewers couldn't have been put in a better situation for his skill set. I think Ewers is better than Tua across the board, and he's better fit with McDaniel's offense. Choo!
Wow. He was doing well until that last sentence.
That's Brian ain't playing. I'm trying to retweet the retweet. Oh, yeah. Oh. Dad, you got an open invitation. We got a spot for you, brother. You want to talk about it? What are the odds of that happen? Probably more than I think. You know what I mean? Shout out to very good picks, top to bottom. Yeah, I think they got the meat and potatoes of this draft. They did it, and then they got it. They went to the secondary, tried to get some depth in the secondary. Then they went to a running back, but a power running back. And then Mike McDaniel got his guy. This is the first Mike McDaniel pick, right? It's good that we're letting him do it in the 7th round, not the 3rd. Starting in the 2nd and 3rd round, right? I think.
I think Ollie's the first. Maybe that.
No, I don't know. Would you agree with that, Jason? Ollie Gordon is not. Ollie Gordon is not a McDaniel type back, is he?
I mean, listen, he's not like Devon Achane where he's like a track star, but he's a guy who he's not a full-time back. I feel like in the pros right now, he's a guy who can help on third down, whether it be on short yardage. He could push a pile forward behind a better improved interior presence on the line right now. So you're not relying on trying to get outside the hash marks or going backwards before you go forward with speed guys. You could push the pile forward with him. And also if you ask him to get out on like a 3rd and 7 and either pass block, he does that willingly, or if he can get out there for a little, Aaron Eckler-like, different bodies, I know, but ability to catch the ball out of the backfield. He's got 80 catches out of his college career, and he could absolutely smoothly run routes to get himself open on, whether it's like any type of screen or any type of kind of slant. I think he could help on certain areas on certain downs. So he's a specialist. I like it. I mean, McDaniel guys could be a lot different, but can he block? He's willing to do that. It's not like he's someone who won't apply to the no block, no rock, or one of those theories,
Yeah. Oh, my God, I just saw the Miami Heat score. What are they doing in the playoffs, man? That's why you don't put 37-win teams in the playoffs. Gosh, they're getting killed in that series. What are you looking at, Bobby? What you got, man? That's cool, man. He wrote you a long little.
It's just funny. My mentions are getting blown up now.
I can tell when Bobby's into something. He's down. His head's down in that phone. He's like, I would love to see his messages, man. What comes across you? This guy's DMs. All right, Bobby, break the next pick. Who we taking at?
Kobe Bryant.
Kobe Bryant. All right, let's make a prediction, everybody. Let's have fun, right? Let's have some fun with it. What else are we gonna do? We're at pick 253. We're at pick 243. So we got about 10 picks or so left. It's moving pretty quick here. Let's look at the best available on the board. Let's look who's available. Let's have a little fun. That's where we at.
That's crazy, dog.
Where am I going? All right. So according to ESPN, their board here in their little draft tracker, best player is Seth McCollum, Isaiah Bond, Tommy Hill. You want a linebacker, don't you, Jason?
Oh, God, yeah. I want a linebacker like oxygen, folks.
Okay. Quinn Ewers wasn't enough for you?
Listen, Quinn Ewers is fun. I want my fun right
come
now.
on.
We
got to give
fun.
one of Jason's guys to Jason. Come on.
But the funny thing is, I'm happy with the top. Like, everyone's guy, all of us are happy with Kenneth Grant.
Yeah, we're all happy.
All of us is happy with Jonah, and I agree with what Bobby said. Listen, Jonah, I didn't think would be available at 48, so I got other guys in my head, but we went up and got him. Months ago, I was like, I did say months ago, if you draft Kenneth Grant or even a Walter Nolan, you got to go up and get one of these 4 or 5 guys. 4 guys that I mentioned were first rounders. It was like 6 guys. And the other guys were Ratledge and, of course, the guy that we got, Jonah Savigny. So I'm very, very, very happy with our guys. Collectively, the fan base can share in those top 2. But sometimes the draft is all about, like Bobby, I'm sure, is loving the Ewers. That's his guy. Anytime you get one of, like, last year I felt great with my one guy, Mo Kamara. The jury's still out on him, but that was the guy that I really
you had a
wanted
conviction.
for Miami.
Dude, I said it. I don't care if it works. I like people who have conviction on players, man. Show me what you got. Put your hand on the table for, because that's what's fun. Like, what are you gonna do? Play the middle of the road? What's the point of watching? You like a guy, say you like a guy. Doesn't work out, he works out or not. As much as my board hit a lot this year. So what? Maybe next year it doesn't. You know what I mean? But like, I put myself out there. I put the players I like, and you happen to get. We happen to got a lot right, which is cool. But I'm very humble about it. And I know that not always gonna work out like that. So. Have conviction on a player, and you had conviction on a player doesn't mean your team takes him.
Right?
Yeah. Like it could be you like Kyle McCord, and listen to the Philadelphia Eagles take a player, you should feel pretty good about it, right? You know what I mean?
That's for darn sure.
Bob, you got any news to break?
Nah, just You're trying to, you
Shout
know.
out to the boy gets retweeted, dude. You're the man, bro. When I grow up,
That
I want
is
to be
awesome.
you, bro. It's crazy.
Bobby having a day 3.
What a day 3 for this man.
I missed. It's only right that I missed the first 5 hours of the day to come in and just like.
Dude, shout out to almost 800 people watching. Yo, smash that like and subscribe button for the things we're bringing out. We'll break news on this channel with the man Bobby Shouts from the Dive Bar. Y'all better go over to that Dive Bar, subscribe, and like they do awesome work. Check out the reaction video we had. That 30-minute video me and Bobby had. Bobby's instant reaction to me coming in, not knowing we were live. It was crazy. Yo, Bobby's the Adam Schefter mode. Put the phone down, Shefty. Bobby is having a day 3, son.
We ain't got but another 30 minutes of bottling this filling up, man. We gotta roll in it, man.
Yeah, we gotta roll in it. Hey, like what was that? What was your quote, bro? I'm gonna get that tattooed. If I could bottle this up, what was it?
If I could bottle this filling up, I think I could power a small village right now.
You ain't lying, brother. Man, we deserved a little spice after that 37 to 143 gap, bro. I mean, that was a gap. I mean, that was a time. You know what I mean? That was a long wait. You know, and we, you know, and
the funny thing is, go ahead. Sorry.
I'm done. Go for it.
When we went into this draft, it was like one of the more unique times in the last decade that we went 1 through 5 in rounds. And lo and behold, he vacates out of 3 and 4. We end up with a 3rd for next year. We end up with 2 really excellent trench players and then a bunch of tickets that could punch. And I think that the best thing to take away from the plan and the why didn't he go up to get talent or the why did he go out of this round or that round, sometimes the economics speak more than the actual players on a board. And I think it was very economically sound paying for a couple of 5th rounders, day 3 guys overall, than paying a 1st, a 2nd, a 3rd, a 4th. You know, so that's philosophically what I'm thinking was an economic aspect of this plan.
Yeah,
which I'm okay with.
And they obviously like the Marshall kid, like the Florida corner. Like they felt like this is a guy they knew they were going to be able to get in this range. I'm standing by that. He was, you know, it's like Ewers seemed like it was their guy all along, and they it's kind of weird. It was like an unwritten rule that it seemed like he was going to the Dolphins, right? Like he just kept falling. It was kind of like, yeah, everybody in the league knew it. Maybe you know what I'm saying? Everybody behind every insider, including Bobby Shouts, knew it. We just were on the outside here. We didn't know it. And Des Bryant is true, dude. Des Bryant is bringing the heat tonight, bro. Today, he wasn't trolling, right? He's serious about that, right?
In his head, I'm sure he is.
Yeah.
I mean, he doubled down. He's not kidding at all.
Yeah.
Like, that is real.
He doubled down on it.
You don't go full breakdown and like try to prove yourself if you don't believe something. So
I don't have anything wrong with what he said about the situation that he's in and maybe being better than Tua. But could we just drop a little knowledge on people who don't realize the gift of Dan Marino? You can't be 2.0 in Dan Marino. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be like that guy. There are 3 people in my world, 4, and then I'll stop and I'll name them, who you can't replicate. There's no Michael Jordan 2.0. There's no Wayne Gretzky 2.0. There's no Cal Ripken Streak 2.0. And there's no Dan Marino freaking 2.0. Ever.
Hey, Bobby, point well taken. Bobby, do you know if we had interest in Strep?
Who?
Strepo? I mean,
he visited the Dolphins the week before the draft, and he said it was awesome.
Man, that's a nice pick here, isn't it? If we get
you ain't gonna hear me complaining.
Yep. Maybe get some, you might get some post-draft interview on the dive bar with
11 picks left. 7 for the Dolphins.
Yeah. All right, here's the best available. All right, Sammy, tell me who you like. Take a shot in the dark. Throw a dart here.
Well, if Chris Greer wants to make his fan very happy and send Buddy home with a good note, take a Restrepo. Probably love his fans. Of course, that's not what he's thinking, but he said this is not listening to what Dolphins fans are saying.
Yeah.
Or maybe he is, I don't know. But if he wants to make this fan very happy and old fans to say to get off his back. Take a strip on pretty much half of the fan base will be okay with that.
Yeah.
I think I'm not even in South Florida, but I think South Florida people love Restrepo. So
yeah,
I mean, that's a legend.
If this guy doesn't get drafted, I wouldn't mind UDFA. I wouldn't mind taking him here. I like Andrew Armstrong, man. So your pick is what? Jay Higgins. You're shot in the dark here. Is it Jay Higgins?
Sean Dolak or Jay Higgins?
Or
Sean
Jay
Dolak
Higgins.
or Jay Higgins.
All right, let me look who I would go with here. Man, it looks like I wonder how the Isaiah Bond situation is good because the guy can play. There's no doubt about it. No doubt. He's a Jalen Waddle clone if you watch the tape. He even played at Alabama and wore 17. Everybody in the chat wanted CJ Debris. A couple people in the chat. Logan Brown still available. Who else? Hubert, Joshua Gray or Clay Webb. Willie Lampkin, man. That'd be fun.
Yeah, I'm in on that.
Hey, Bobby, I like him at fullback.
I heard you say that. I'm not ready to go there yet.
You're not ready to go there?
I like him. So I like him as a backup
No, I
center.
mean, I'm not saying like in a package. Yo,
you can get fun with it if you want to.
Right, let's do this. Let's have fun. Savanea, Lampkin at fullback, Ollie Gordon at running back.
Or what about this? Didn't Kenneth Grant say that in Michigan they had a little handoff package for him?
Okay, we can do that. I can get down with that.
Willie a fullback, Kenneth for Christian Wilkins. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing.
I can get down with that.
That's a little too cray.
I'll tell you on the offensive line. You want to stick to the trenches, Clay Webb or Joshua Gray, or Willie Lampkin are guys. I really like Clay Webb. I think he's being undervalued here. He's a guy. If he doesn't get drafted, I would love for him to pick up. Is he one of your undrafted free agent guys, Jason, or no?
I don't want to put a name to him just yet. I want these kids to get their name called. I do. You know what I mean? But then I'll start putting names out there.
All right. You win, man. You win. I probably Jared Ivey. He sticks out so. Jay Joyner too, man. There's some couple edge guys on the board.
I feel a little more confident now that we took Quinn.
Yeah.
Because we're back to like where my mind of thinking. Yeah. But the other like the two DBs we drafted today make me think like this could go anywhere right now.
Yeah. Yeah. There's no doubt. Predicting this is, could be one of the names you said, but it could be, we take a tight end or, we take another safety. We take another. It could be anything.
Right.
Anything. Let's see here. So we're at pick 246 or 247. And I know the Dolphins like that running back that just went to 245. Ja'Cory Merritt. We pick at 253. We're 7 picks away. So
what do y'all think about Seth McLaughlin?
The center?
Yeah.
Ohio State? Yeah, I'm down with that.
I mean, that's a second round dude before he tore his Achilles, right?
Yeah, yeah. Let's do it. Second
best center in the draft.
McLaughlin, Clay Webb, Joshua Gray. If you want to have fun, Willie Lampkin, I think he can play some guard too for you.
That's crazy, Isaiah Bond, man. But
Jason, I heard the Eagles are interested in Dolak. Oh man.
I think though Buffalo's going to draft him.
You think so?
Yeah.
Where's Buffalo? Buffalo.
Right soon. No, did they actually?
No, Buffalo
took Buffalo will offer him an undrafted free agent contract for sure. That I'll say. Like if he doesn't get drafted, I would love him in Miami, but he's probably just going to stay in Buffalo. I mean, I would be shocked if they don't offer him at least that. But the Patriots would probably be a team that I'd be terrified of seeing him on too. They have 2 picks. They end the process. They can make him Mr. Irrelevant and make me in a significant angst mode right now. But we'll see.
Yeah, you said it best throughout this process. This is where you look for special teams guys, right? Guys who offer, play a position but offer you special teams value. That's one thing Trader, the safety we took, I'm telling you, man, I like that. I think this guy's going to play. I don't know. He's not going to start, but he's going to get some playing time. he was a sneaky good pick. Bobby, when you after this show, whenever you got time, put on some highlights on him, and you're gonna see this guy is. And I think Marshall, he's an outside press corner, straight up outside press. Long arms. His hands are he's got a lot of PBUs, not a lot of INTs, but if he didn't get hurt, this guy could have went a little bit higher. So overall, for this last pick, well, we'll do our final grade after this pick. This pick shouldn't change it that much, but we'll wait till it's over, unless they go like Isaiah Bond and shock us. But I don't think that guy's getting drafted.
You get to this point in the draft too, when these guys are slipping, and you don't know this part, but
yeah,
like his agent could be asking teams to stay away from him.
Yeah, right now we don't know what's good. Things are up in the air. Don't this looks like this got to play out and let him kind of maybe sign with a team when this thing plays out, probably.
Yeah,
that's 100% correct. A lot of times the agents are like, all right, if you don't go here, keep your phone on. When this thing is over, you're immediately going to get a call from boom, boom, boom. And then it almost, look, the last two letters of the term are free agent. So sometimes there's a little bit of a silver lining to not being drafted. You actually get a little bit of control if you have options. You know what I mean? So sometimes you just want, as a football player, and I can't imagine I can't even, because I've never been even close to that, but you want to hear your name called after all the work that you put in. But sometimes that creates a dog in someone, and it could power them to have a good NFL career. It's rare. It happens. So
yeah,
it will be interesting to see who comes out and what teams are getting who quickly. Because there's going to be free agent trackers. I know Dolphins Wire, there's going to have one. I'm not running the tracker, but it'll be boom, 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 right off the bat. And I'll do my best to get my list out after pick 257.
You do a list every year, Jason? Oh, UDFA list or usually?
The last couple whether it's a tweet, whether it's a tweet or whether it's a list, I will identify a dozen that I would love. Will one or two hit? Probably not. But positionally, the Dolphins have Bobby. They have tells of who they're going to bring in, what type of competition they want to kind of bring in. They're bringing in defensive backs. They're bringing a couple of wide receivers. They need camp bodies. So let's see if they bring in some linebackers, defensive tackles.
Yeah. So picks, we're almost there. What do we got? 864 in the chat. Watching. Shout out to Quinn Ewers, man. Yo, smash that like and subscribe button if you're watching on YouTube. Make sure you come on over. We got the man, Bobby Shouts Jr. All these guys are not just colleagues doing YouTube. They're friends of mine. Sammy, Jason Sarney. It finally took us. All four of us have been on for hours together, and was that the first pick we reacted to live? Was it yours?
Yeah, that's incredible.
That's incredible stuff, man. And then Bobby gets Des Bryant to retweet him with this long paragraph. You not only got retweeted, but we got. Oh no, Jonathan's a Texas guy. Jonathan, take a bow, man. I've been telling you guys I want to be on the show. All right, you're on the show. We'll get you on the show. Definitely. Maybe Thursday we could bring on Jonathan here to break down this pick. I'll get you on one of these shows, no doubt about it.
Speaking of, I think that's another Texas player right there, ain't it? No, never mind.
I'm going down some beer and shots to celebrate. Enjoy it, brother. You got a Texas guy. Jonathan's a huge Texas guy, bro.
Oh yeah, he's been running that for a while.
He's been running that. He got his dog. So
I think he was kidding, but he got his wish.
Yeah. And he ain't kidding about he's going to get some beer and shots to celebrate.
That's nothing to joke about.
That's nothing to joke about. Speaking of that, what's on the agenda? Are you opening a new bottle tonight after the draft or what? Bobby Shouts?
Nah,
no,
I'm chilling, man. Like I said, I was out in that sun all day. I got burned, boy.
You were at a festival, you said?
Yeah. So in Louisiana, they have a thing called Festival International. Mm-hmm. It's a huge, all kinds of different cultures and music and vendors and food. It's just man, it's awesome.
Really good food there, I bet, huh?
Oh yeah. Too much food.
Too much. I know you must have been following your phone the draft. All your head was down, right?
Oh yeah, I had my son. He fell asleep in the stroller, so
You're like, cool.
I was chilling under like a shade tree. My old lady was like going around the vendors, shopping, buying stuff.
Do you think?
Like,
I'll be right here.
I got the kid. Don't worry.
Especially while you're sleeping, I got him. Do you think?
Yep.
He said we need to go get Isaiah Bond. We just talked about that. I don't think that's gonna. I think if he fell this far, it's something they're gonna take care of. You know, he's got to take care of the situation, man. He's got more things to worry about than football. Oh, we got an appearance.
Hell yeah.
What's his grade? I've never been so hyped for a 7th round pick. Hook 'em horns and fins up. Sammy, what's the dog's name?
That's Ariana.
Ariana. What? How does she feel about the draft?
But she's happy. She licked all my face all over, so I think she's happy.
She loves that Quinn Ewers pick.
I can't wait for that last pick to find out again. So give some grades, and of course, I go to start by saying about this year's draft.
A long snapper off the board.
Snapper.
Julian.
Not like Chris Greer, huh?
The New England Patriots.
That's a Patriot pick. I thought Belichick was out of there, man.
They had enough picks to do that.
Wow.
We drafted Blake, didn't we?
In 2020.
Yeah.
He's one of 3 players left from that 2020 draft. Out of 10.
How do you feel about give me some Xavier Streppel here. Let's spice up the 7th round, dog.
That would certainly spice it up. Look, if you want to just make sure he's yours and not worry about the
Bobby, I would think though, if they're going to take him, you probably know something, no or no?
Hold on, let me text somebody real quick. I would naturally know.
Or if you want, let's leave it for a surprise. You want to leave it for a surprise? We can do that.
I'm still gonna reach out, but I want.
I know. Real quick by your facial reaction. What's the deal, bro? Shout out, man! Almost 900. Guys, thank you so much. Huh? Thank everybody. They like the pick, or they don't like. Thanks everybody who's watching, man. Almost 900. Whether you watch on X or YouTube, we appreciate it a lot, guys. This has been a fun weekend. I can't thank these guys enough. Bobby, Sammy, Jason. It's been unbelievable. And again, I always say that there's plenty of channels doing it. You guys are coming to choose here, and I appreciate it with all the likes and subscribe. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. We're going to be back on Thursday doing our big recap. I usually have a show on Monday, taking a little break here, and we'll come back Thursday, let it all digest, me and Jason on the on-season, and we will break down everything. So we got Holland Pierce in the chat. What is Holland? Is that a looking at the UDFAs. Sorry. This would be good for Jason. Jason's UDFA. This would be good to ask Jason if he has anybody tip. Oh.
Hey, I'm gonna send you something right now. Pull it up on the screen and play the video.
All right.
This was Jordan Phillips finding out that the safety also got drafted by the Dolphins after him.
All right, hold on. Let me share this tab and shit.
Watch this.
Yeah!
Oh, boy. Let's go.
Yo! I want to talk about. Yo! That boy Trader. Yo! We back together now. Yo! Boy, get that on TV right now. Get my boy on TV, huh? Yo!
I got goosebumps, bro.
Yo!
Dude, my boy came off the couch.
My boy came off the couch.
My boy about hit the ceiling.
That's a weight room freak right there. That's a former wrestler. That guy put up some nasty weight room numbers. And guess what, Bob? You know the best part? 20 years old, bro.
20. Yeah, it's insane.
Hey, Sealer, couple years, maybe he's not on the team, maybe he's not. You got that
Pick
rotation. Pick is in.
Pick is in.
Where are we going here? Where are we going?
Is it us?
We're up.
We're up.
Oh my God! What happened?
What happened, bro?
Wow! And we're back.
Yo!
Back like we never left. Here we go. Let's get one more. one more bump.
Give me a bump. Let's get this A minus to an A. We deserve this.
I'm at a B plus.
The Dolphins
I'm at a B plus. I'm happy with the B+. Unless I get one of my guys, I'm moving up to an A.
Defensive tackle
I
Zeke
got the pick.
Biggers.
Zeke Biggers.
Who do we take? Pick is in?
Zeke
Biggers.
Zeke Biggers. Let's look up
damn, another one?
6'6", 321 out of Georgia Tech.
Two.
Boy, we like them steak and potatoes tonight, boys. Hold on, let me get to the round 7. Why did they have round? Oh, here we go.
More trenches.
Whew. I ain't gonna lie, I didn't do a ton of work on Zeke Biggers, but all I'm doing is looking at his size. To say they didn't want to show up the defensive tackle position was a lie here. Zeke Biggers out of Georgia Tech, 6'6", 321. Man. I'm okay with this. Is 7th round. All right.
It works.
This is a run stopper here. This is a run stopper. Yeah. This is, long 2-year starter at G-Tech. I got to go look back on him. I'm not going to sit here and make up, when I know a player, I know a player. When I don't, I don't. Okay, FML. It's the 7th round. We got the spice. We got the dessert. This is just, we're shoring up the line of scrimmage here. All right, Zeke Biggers. Let's now go look at the totality of the draft here. All right, I'm going to pull up that list, the long view here of the Dolphins draft. Oh, my Zeke Biggers. Okay. Here's the full Dolphins draft, guys. There it is. So we've been talking about this for months. Trench warfare. We've been wondering, what is it? Sammy, you put the glasses on. What do you like about it? When you just quickly, as you look at it, do you like that it's big, physical, and it fits needs, right?
That's the positive. Since for day one, we were talking about the Dolphins needed to some physicality, and they for sure took that seriously, and they found a way to be more physical. That's the good sign. On the bad, the thing I like, I would expect the come out to the draft with at least 3 starters. I don't think we got 3 starters in this draft. So when you don't have a 3rd round pick and then you move the 4th, of course, you basically the defensive line. That's great. That they need to do that for sure, because now that it would be horrible. And what they got for that 4th round pick in the 3rd next year is great, but that counts for next year's grade. So as far as I'm concerned, it's a minus for this year's draft. So
do you guys want to know his combine performance? Zeke Biggers at
he was a freak.
6'5.5", 321. He ran 5.14 with a 10-yard split of 174, 34.5-inch vertical jump, and a 9.3 broad jump. The boy can move. He's a traits guy. This is a height, weight, length, NFL. Some talk he could be a 3-4 end. Like, he's 3 and 5 tech stuff with this guy. So, man, that's what you kind of do. That's what you kind of do in this round. You go on, okay, what does this guy have? He's got the length, the size, the athleticism, and let's get him in our building. And shout out to he blocked 2 kicks in college. So
there you go.
There you go. This is what you do in the 7th round. Bobby, looking at the draft board here, we did. Look at the total draft. We've been talking about this for months. When you look at it here, you pull the zoom out of the lens. I give you the list here. This is the final list. What are your thoughts on it, man, when you look at it?
I like it. We came out hot. We got aggressive. We got 2 bona fide guys and huge needs, changed the culture of the team. We had to wait a little while, but we came back with Jordan Phillips, which is another dog in the middle. Made me feel real good. Hopefully they know something we don't know with the Marshall and Trader picks. I mean, they look solid. Yeah. I think, we already went through this. Yeah. They're a little better than perception, but they kind of were maybe better people on the board at the time that we probably wanted, but we got to trust the process there. Ollie Gordon, I love Ollie Gordon. I mean, dude, best running back in college football last year. Yep. 1,700 total yards, had Heisman votes. Obviously had a down year, but dude, 6'2", 225. I mean, come on. That's the perfect 3rd back for this running back room.
Yep.
Quinn Ewers, like I said, that's a lottery ticket. I mean, it is what it is. 7th round pick. I can't complain. Zeke Biggers, we just found out about this guy 5 seconds ago. but he looked good. I think he was really good at the East-West Shrine game.
Yep.
From what I just read, he has some good reps against some good talent. So never mad about adding trenches. I think it's a solid B. I think just the middle got a little weird in the trade down or the trade up, and then the trade down left a huge gap where, like Sammy said, probably could have been a third starter. But Phillips will play valuable reps for sure. But I'll give it a solid B.
Jason or Sammy, whichever one. Look at the list and finish with the grade. We'll go whichever one of you guys want to take it first.
Sammy, go ahead, brother.
Well, I'm torn between C+ and B-. Just because you got 2 starters, but that fifth round for me is I don't know, it's just me, but it's kind of feel underwhelming. So when you don't have a third, a fourth, and then you have 3 5s, you need to come up with a steal. That guy who's falling, and you need to have a chance at the potential of a solid starter. And since they didn't do that for me, it was between B- and C+. But I'm torn about that. Tomorrow I might wake up and feel better on myself. I had delusional Dolphin syndrome again and say they have a B, so they B+. And that's just me. You guys are the draft guys. You know more than me. But so the perception of a fan like I am, I'm torn between the C+ and the B-.
Jason.
I give it a B. I'm thinking of whether I want to move it up to a B+ just to be fun and whatever. But it's a solid job of setting up a top-heavy foundational build of trench improvement, which they did outstanding with the 1 and 2 pick. I like how they filled out the defensive trenches with Jordan Phillips and now the Zeke Biggers, who seems to be a very large and athletic 3-tech defensive end who could even be a special teamer. And offensively, they added the backup quarterback. They added Ollie Gordon. And I love that pick for what they could use him to do situationally. And they have competition in the defensive secondary. So I give it a B. And if I do give it a B+, it's for potential.
All right. Okay, I'll go. First of all, we'll start at the top. I love the attitude. Like Bobby said, I love the attitude change, the culture change, the demeanor in the organization change. All these guys are durable guys, most of them. They love the game of football. Grant and Savane at the top. Love that. That started the draft at an A for me.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah, Mr. Irrelevant is coming up. And then we go to the gap is where I'll drop this draft to a B+ because of the gap we had to wait. The 5th round, I agree with Sammy. You feel it's a little overwhelming, but Jordan Phillips is a 20-year-old guy who's got tons of potential and strength. He was on Bruce Feldman's freak list. He's stout against the run. He's heavy-handed. He's going to get better. Jason Marshall Jr. is a long outside corner, physical. He's got long arms. He can play. I think if he didn't get hurt, he would have been a 3rd or 4th round pick maybe. He's a guy I think can compete early and potentially start. I think they'll probably add a guy in free agency. So I like him. And Dante Trader Jr., I think he's going to be a guy who surprises people. His tape is 3rd round tape. His testing is 7th round. Or in UDFA. So you kind of meet in the middle and you make him a 5th rounder. Let's hope the tape wins because he's fun. He can play Robert, free safety, slot. He can play at the line of scrimmage. He blitzes. He's small but plays above him. So he's a fun player. I think he has a chance to contribute. Ollie Gordon, I started liking Ollie Gordon more as the process began because I didn't think of him as the guy who was going to be the top 1st or 2nd round pick in 2023. I started looking at what he does well more than what he doesn't do well. And he's going to be a short yardage guy. He complements the running back room. I wanted a big back, and there wasn't many, so I'm good with Ollie Gordon. Like the pick. Quinn Ewers, he's going to be the one that people are going to talk about a lot. It's a lottery ticket, like you guys said, who's got talent in the 7th round, who's a highly recruited guy, does something. I'm not going to talk about the things he doesn't do well. I'm going to talk about the things he does do well. And in this offense, it could be, magnified with his arm angles, his ball handling. Tua has great ball handling, so does he. I think he went in the right situation. So for the 7th round, it gives you a little spice, but also gives you another guy to develop. And Zeke Biggers, I'd be lying if I told you I watched film on Zeke Biggers, but from what I saw, 6'6", 321 with a 34.5-inch vertical leap and a 10-yard split of 174, you could sign me up. They got tougher, they got more physical, they got everything you wanted here in this draft. And I say it's a B+, and it's not an A because they had such a gap. You can't give a team who had a gap between 37 and 143 an A pick. You know what I mean? But other than that, I liked it. I like the attitude change, guys. Great pick. And who's Mr. Irrelevant? It's going now, right?
Yeah, it's up.
Let's go back to
Memphis defensive back Kobe Minor.
Kobe Minor. All right, Jason. We're obviously going to get out of here pretty soon, but you're undrafted free agent. All right, so
I'm going to get the article going now. Right now, my list is at 1, 2. Oh, I got to take somebody out. Okay, I got to take Lachey out. Lachey was just drafted. Fadil Diggs just got drafted. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. All right, Jay Higgins. And I'm trying to stay as realistic as possible, knowing that other teams could probably just swipe these guys up quicker. But Jay Higgins from Iowa, linebacker. Defensive back Robert McDaniel. This guy comes from Jackson State, smaller school, clearly, HBCU. But this guy can be almost what Dante Trader is, but maybe his junior form. And outstanding hybrid safety linebacker, defensive back potential. Linebacker from Buffalo, Sean Dolak. Wide receiver, Darius Maxwell, South Florida kid from Lincoln, our boy. Offensive tackle Logan Brown from Kansas, wide receiver Elijah Badger from Florida, edge Jared Ivey from Mississippi, and offensive tackle Holland Pierce from Rutgers. That's what I got so far.
Yeah, so it should be fun. The UDFAs, we're going to have a bunch of guys dropping. There's plenty of great players on the board. The center you mentioned, you got Restrepo, you got Kobe Bryant. There's some corners. Dolphins are going to be active here.
Mm-hmm.
Let's go. Let's give final thoughts on the weekend, the time we had here. We'll start with you, Bobby, then Sammy, then Jason. Your final thoughts on this whole thing. It was a fun weekend, man.
Yeah, I told y'all like the first or second night we all hung out together. Man, I can't believe I hadn't been involved in this stuff before in the past. It's just totally engulfed in football for the whole weekend. Shout out to my wife and my kids for being resilient. Definitely underdog story for sure. They put up with me and let me hang out and enjoy the weekend. That was cool. And like to add on to the draft thing, I think just they might have we're going to see if they had a plan here soon. I think that, they might have had the draft looks a lot better if they go and sign Asante Samuel this afternoon or tomorrow, So if they went trenches hard because they knew they had a veteran safety or a cornerback in mind, it makes everybody feel a little better. But hey, also on the other hand, hey, they might just throw them boys in the fire. You might get a lot of Cam Smith, Duck, and Bonner this year.
And Jason Marshall Jr. and whatever they got in UDFA.
Trader.
All right, Sammy?
Two interesting things that just come around the wire here. Chris Greer said that they had talks about this week about Ramsey moving and that they did have discussions, lots of discussions about Shedeur Sanders during the draft weekend. So that's an interesting note. So
they had discussions of Shedeur.
So
okay. They had their shot at him. So they obviously did
more than once.
Yeah.
Again, they got two starters. They had a lot of needs. But what I want to give the Dolphins is it didn't feel like they were reaching out for play. They had so many needs that sometimes when you have too many needs, it looks like you're reaching out for the player instead of taking the best player available. So of course they found a way to get a defensive tackle and an offensive guard, but didn't feel like they were reaching too much. They got two quality starters there. That's the way of looking at it possibly there. Of course they still have some needs. We'll have to wait to see what happens with that.
All right, Sam, Jason, final thoughts on the whole weekend and everything, It
was an absolute pleasure doing this with you guys. Bobby, great chopping up. Sammy, my dude, always a pleasure. And George, this process, we graduated. This was awesome. We went through an amazing process together. Thanks for inviting me into your channel, man. And we developed an awesome friendship, and let's keep it going. But all right, enough of that. Back to the draft. Kumbaya. No, it was an awesome build, I think, and fun experience to do this live with you all. I think that Chris Greer did well. I'm not jumping on a table saying we're back. No, this is not a 2025 championship squad, but I think that they cleaned a little economic situations, and they're going to continue to do so. They drafted some nice day 3 potential on top of 2 absolute, in my mind, it's going to be really hard for them to miss in their careers. I think they're just going to be extremely solid at each of their jobs with very high floors and very high sky, high potential. So I'm happy. Let's see what the rest of this process, because the undrafteds are coming up. Let's see if there's any movement with Ramsey and or Hill. But hopefully brighter days are ahead. Unfortunately, it is sort of another retool, but it was a nice demolition, fixing, and sweeping under the rug and kind of starting fresh.
Yeah. I guess I closed it out. I guess I'm not going to talk about the Dolphins, but we talked about it enough. It's my thanks to you guys. This stuff, Jason, we started this thing and it was an idea and it's grown, and I can't appreciate you enough. You helped me, and hopefully I helped you in some way and doing everything. Let's continue this in some sort of fashion. I know the on-season was supposed to be for free agency for the draft, but we'll discuss that. Sammy, you said yourself you didn't get a lot of airtime on your channel, and I'm glad I gave you the platform here to do it because
Jason doesn't allow me to talk with him. He's so busy. I allow him to talk a lot.
I feel like our friendship changed when you hopped on the Richmond Webb show when he came out. You're a tremendous guy, and I can't wait to have you on more. And I thank you so much for spending your time, your valuable time. You didn't have to just come on the show with me for hours and hours this draft weekend. I thank you. And Bobby, you know the deal, bro. The homie. We went back and forth. I was on his show. We talked about this, and a big reason for the success of this show has to do with Bobby as well. And I can't appreciate enough what you do, not only for me, but for everybody in the community, man. You empower people. Like, you have success on the channel, but you want to also other people have success. So I appreciate all you guys. I appreciate everybody in the chat, everybody's eyes who put on this channel this weekend. We had thousands of views, right? Again, I always say you could be anywhere else and you would spend it with us. We thank you so much. My brothers in the chat, everybody, Will, TJ, everybody was in this chat for hours and hours. I thank you enough. It was a long process. It was fun. The big board worked out good. I'll give myself a pat in the back at the end here.
Larry Horowitz.
Yeah. So we might know, and I thank everybody, man. It was great. Now let's have some fun. Let's kind of watch some film now on these guys that highlight videos and kind of hype us up because we got a little bit of dead period. But we'll be back Thursday. Jason and I recapping everything. Bobby, when are you back on your channel?
Probably Tuesday night. We had a couple college draftees this weekend that were lined up before the draft, but they were just so busy with the draft coming up and visits that hopefully we get to get scheduled pretty soon. I don't know if it'll be this week or whenever. Obviously they're still going to be busy translating into, moving into different cities and going into rookie mini camps. But a couple guys that got drafted this weekend, we should have on the show soon. And of course, continue trying to have as many Dolphin players as possible and, try to fill that void and gap that's going to be there the next couple months of no football content as much as we can.
Yep, absolutely. You check those guys out at the dive bar. They're going to have, they're going to have some good players. Sammy, what do you got going on at FinsTV? I think I know, but.
Well, before that, great job, George. You guys, the on-season and Jason killed it. Nice meeting Bobby. Bobby does, like I said before, does a great job staying positive, keeping it real. It was so nice to spend some time with you guys. Well, after you're done with the Dive Bar podcast, jumps to FinsTV. As soon as I finish, we're gonna be doing our draft review of FinsTV. We're gonna be talking a lot of subjects, and now with the quarterback possibilities, probably some new subjects has arrived. So we'll talk about that probably and draft review on FinsTV on Tuesday at 8 p.m.
All right, so man, it was fun. Everybody go relax now, catch up on your sleep, family time. It was fun. It's like now you can forget the test is over. Now you can delete all the information out of your head, right?
I'm gonna have lunch.
Yeah, I would lose some weight if I did. I said I would lose some weight if I did these live streams. Dog. I'm not eating. So, all right. Thank you guys for joining. We'll see you, Jason. I will see you next Thursday. Make sure you hit that notification and notify when we're going live. We'll be live Thursday. Thank you guys. Thank you, fellas. Fins up, boys. Another draft in the books. Let's go.
Fins up, everybody. Thank you all.
We're out. Thank you.